Welcome into Savage Arena here in Toledo, Ohio. Part 2 of the Battle of I-75 between BGSU men's basketball and the Toledo Rockets. We are about 15 minutes away from the start of this one. A game that Bowling Green would love to have, and one that Toledo is looking to sweep the season series of for the 4th year out of 5. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Artie, this is a game that Bowling Green is looking to get back after a pretty large defeat to Toledo on their home court about a month and change ago.
Absolutely. 90-71 loss that last time out at the Stroh Center, where you were looking to maybe start off the season better than you hoped, at least in the MAC schedule in the Battle of I-75. Couldn't get it done, and now you have to travel to the Savage Arena, place you really haven't won or had much success in for many years now. Last time you won was in 2021 here at the Savage Arena.
Yeah.
So you really have to step up now more than ever. We said a couple days ago they had to win at least 4 of their last 6 in order to stay in contention for the MAC tournament in Cleveland, at least like sneak in. Well, they lost last time out to Kent State. They lost the last time out to Kent State 91-84, so that puts a damper in things. Now you have to win 4 of your last 5 still. And you've lost a couple guys. You lost Trey Thomas in that one.
Yeah.
He suffered a season injury we learned just a couple of hours ago. That's going to severely affect today's game.
Yeah, we'll get more into that. We'll start with Bowling Green because of that. But before we get into that, go over some of this matchup history. This is the 184th all-time meeting between these two rivals, separated just 30 minutes apart from each other by I-75. Toledo leads the all-time series 99-84. They lead the series here at Savage Arena 51-32. And they've really, like you said, dominated the series as of late. 6 of the past 7 games against Bowling Green they've won, including that one on January 24th, 84-71 at the Stroh Center. Like you said, BG's last win came on February 13th, 2021, an 88-81 win. And Toledo has won 9 of their last 11 home games against Bowling Green. Todd Kowalczyk, their head coach, who, is one of the most successful head coaches in the country over the past 4 years. He has a 16-7 record against Bowling Green. That's a .696 winning percentage, and it's the best by any Toledo head coach in program history. So let's start over with Bowling Green. We usually do the opponent first, but huge news from John Rothstein reporting this just earlier today. Trey Thomas out for the rest of the season, a broken leg. We weren't sure of the severity of it last game. We saw him go off. Trey Thomas, for those that don't know, has had a history of cramps in his lower leg areas, especially
this season.
So it appeared to be something like that. Todd Simon did not know post-game. He gave kind of, an answer that seemed like maybe a sprain at the worst. Worst case scenario for him, his collegiate career will now be over. Because of that injury, he will be out for the rest of the season. Just a huge blow for this team in just, I feel like, sucking the air out of the room a little bit over the past few hours for this team, and you just had to feel so bad for Trey Thomas.
Yeah, whenever Coach Simon spoke about Trey Thomas, he always said he was the organizer.
Yeah.
He got things organized
the
floor general. That's his term he specifically used. He always said he was organized the offense, kept things calm and collected for the team. And now you've lost him.
Yeah.
And the most crucial part of your season, where you were planning on, grinding out probably a couple wins to maybe sneak into the tournament, and you've lost a really big senior presence on the floor. It's an unfortunate end to the collegiate career of Trey Thomas, who started at Vanderbilt all the way to Bowling Green. Hopefully he doesn't dwell too much on this when he's thinking about his college career. Obviously, he went a great many miles, and it's unfortunate to see it end like this. But they still have a game to play today. You have to have somebody for Bowling Green step up in his place today.
Well, you do. Well, we have some change in the starting lineup. We'll wait a second to get to that. Looking at this Bowling Green team, Artie, this is a team that, like you said, they're facing an uphill battle. Currently 10th in the standings in the MAC. 10-16 overall, 4-9. For comparison, Toledo, their opponent here today, 16-10 overall, 9-4 in the MAC. They're in third place. They are the 4-time defending MAC regular season champions under Todd Kowalczyk. But for Bowling Green, you're coming off a 91-84 loss against Kent State, a hard-fought loss. And you have won back-to-back games just twice this season. As a team, they have not won back-to-back conference games. This is a huge one for them if they could steal it, to give them a chance to a really good chance to get into the MAC tournament. This would be a huge game to win with just 4 more MAC games after this. But looking at Bowling Green, what sticks out to you overall in the season? What sticks out to you recently?
Well, recently, first and foremost, they really almost pulled it off against Kent State. They were really trying to grind it out. You could see the fight in them, what little this team has left, probably, with all the injuries, with all the high minutes the starting lineup is playing, about 30 per game. They're still fighting them, and you've seen that all season. They don't stop fighting, essentially. They keep going, they keep going, they keep fighting. That's what stuck out to me recently. But throughout the season, it's just been start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. You see these stretches where it looks like they can build momentum, especially during games. Then the first timeout happens. Things pause for a really long time.
Todd Simon talked about the 16-8 or the 12-4, that minute range in the halves where they really struggle, what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's a quote for him I wanted to use. It was kind of this is what he spoke of last time against Kent State. This is what he said. It was kind of along the theme we've had in a number of games. We just can't get over that hump. We get these things to a possession game, and we get to put together a full 40 minutes. That's something we have to continue to address. We certainly need to defend better. They've won a lot of one-on-one matchups and scored a lot of points in the paint. Things we really need to shore up on in order to have a success. So last time against Kent State scored 51 in the paint points against BG. A very, very high number. Yeah. And that's just an insane amount, especially when you're trying to sneak into the MAC tournament.
Definitely. And now looking over at this Toledo team, we mentioned 4-time defending MAC regular season champions. They are seeking a season series sweep over BG for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. They have 71 conference wins since the start of the 2020-2021 season, the 3rd most in the nation, trailing only Houston and Drake. And this is going to be a tough environment for BG here today. 4,159 fans on average a game here at Savage Arena, the highest average attendance in the Mid-American Conference. Looking at this Toledo team, a little different roster than we've been used to the past couple years. Still a very good team, though. What sticks out to you?
Obviously, I think first and foremost, just the performance of Sam Lewis coming into the season. 15.2 points per game. That's 9th in the MAC. 45% from free. That's the first. That's the best 3-point shooting in the MAC. He hits 1.7 per game. That's a 1.7 per game average. And then other guys that stick out to me, obviously Sonny Wilson, who's named the All-MAC freshman team last season. He scored 18 points against BG their last time. He's been averaging 15.5 points per game. That's 8th in the MAC. And then Javon Simmons, the MAC freshman of the year, the reigning MAC freshman of the year, 11.5 points per game and 6.7 rebounds. So the sophomore class for this team is incredibly strong. Javon, Sonny, and Sam Lewis are all sophomores. So there's so much. Todd Kowalczyk has collected so much youth to this roster, and now they're getting better and better and better and better. And that's what you're really going to have to watch out for today if you're Bowling Green.
Definitely will have to look out for it. Last time we mentioned these two teams faced each other, Bowling Green shot 43% from the field. UT shot 47.5%. Toledo shot 50% from deep. Bowling Green just 27.3%. Toledo also out-rebounded Bowling Green 38-30. So it's a lot of areas there Bowling Green needs to really improve on versus what they did in that first game against the Rockets. We do have the starting lineups in. For Bowling Green, it's going to be a little different now because of the loss of Trey Thomas. It's going to be the first time that we've seen this specific lineup this season. Marcus Johnson, Dejon Humphrey, Jemai Felt. Those are the 3 guys that have been constants in the lineup as of late. They'll stay in it. New additions, Derek Butler back up to the starting lineup Butler had been coming off the bench for the past 6 games. He will now be back in the starting 5. And Braylon Green, he will get his first start of the season, his first collegiate start here today in a huge game in the Battle of I-75.
A big moment for the sophomore transfer from Arizona State. First start of his collegiate career, and it's the Battle of I-75. A lot of pressure on Braylon Green, but he's got the speed. He knows how to pass the ball. He's got the intangibles. He just has to work on putting that shot together, and it could be a successful day for him.
He does. It's one thing that he really has struggled with at times this season. For Toledo, they will be going with a very familiar lineup for them. It'll be Javen Simmons, the 6'7" sophomore forward from Gahanna, Ohio. Sam Lewis, who you mentioned, the 6'6" guard, sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, your hometown, Artie. Bryce Ford, 6'3", 190 guard, another sophomore, so 3 sophomores right there from Scottsdale, Arizona. Sonny Wilson, yet again, another sophomore, 6'1" guard from Pontiac, Michigan. And Isaiah Adams, the transfer in from Buffalo. He is a 5th-year guard, 6'7" guard, really a forward. They categorize him as a guard. He does play like a guard from Jacksonville, Florida. So a very smaller lineup for Toledo. Very quick, good shooting lineup.
Definitely. It's a pretty familiar lineup for this team. There's a lot of youth. Obviously, you got the 5th year and Isaiah Adams in there as well. And then you got pretty much a pretty consistent along with Bryce Ford. So all sophomores, and then Isaiah Adams with the experience. So a really young, fast, sort of quick lineup, which I think is good because last time out against Kent State, Bowling Green really struggled at guarding guys like Jalen Sullinger. They really struggled against that because he was so fast, he was so quick. So it's a pretty smart move by Todd Kowalczyk to go with a faster lineup here today.
Teams lined up. We are ready to go for the national anthem here, so we will step away for that. When we come back, we'll go over some final players to watch and some keys to the game. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball against Toledo in the Battle of I-75 right here on Falcon Radio.
Did you ever ride your bike with a clothespin and a baseball card? Or use a typewriter for a school paper? Then here's a timely alert. Americans born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, which often has no symptoms, but is a leading cause of liver cancer. The good news? Treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
Hello, I'm Nate Paps. I play O-line here at BGSU. My 4 favorite hobbies are hunting. I love hunting deer and turkey during the off season and whenever I have time off. My second favorite hobby is video games. Whenever, in season when I come home, I like to chill and just relax, play some video games with my friends. Third favorite hobby is fishing. Goes along with hunting, but I love being outdoors. I love fishing, hunting. I love all kinds of stuff like that outside. And my most recent favorite hobby is playing pool. We just got a pool table in our garage, and me and my roommates, who are also on the team, love playing pool. Those are my 4 favorite hobbies. Go Falcons.
BGSU women's track and field set more program records in the GVSU Big Meet on Valentine's Day weekend. The Falcons opened up on Friday with a record-breaking 800-meter run by freshman Reese Riemann that finished at 2:08.36, 1/100th of a second ahead of BGSU Hall of Famer Tracy Gehrke's record set in 1988. Junior distance runner Kylie Cubison, running a 4:42.53 in the mile invite heat, got a mark that was nearly 4 seconds above Riemann's previous record set at the Mayo Invitational 2 weeks prior. On Saturday, the Falcons distance relay medley squad of Kirsten Franklin, Rachel Hoover, Riemann, and Cubison broke the record set 26 years prior with a time of 11:21.85. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
Back here at Savage Arena, starting lineups for Bowling Green getting introduced. Then we'll, of course, have the highlight package and the starting lineups for the Toledo Rockets. Tyler Kablitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network with you here at Savage Arena. Artie, we went over both teams in the first segment of the pregame. Now as we near tip-off here at Savage Arena, can you give us some of the keys to the game you're looking for both the Falcons and the Rockets?
Well, I certainly can, Tyler. So for the Falcons, I think it's real simple. You got to guard that three-point shot. They really struggled against it against Toledo last time they played. That guys like Lorenzen and Sam Lewis hit it from deep, and they really got to be able to contain this sort of youthful lineup that Toledo has. They got to be able to guard inside the paint. They really struggled outside last time against Toledo, against Kent State, 51 points inside the paint. So you really got to guard that there. And I know they don't have a lot of shot blockers in the lineup right now, besides Jemai Felt, of course, averaging 1.2 per game. So I really feel like they just got to be able to guard the paint, got to be able to guard the inside, got to be able to match the speed and intensity of Toledo. As for the Rockets, you can't let Marcus Johnson get hot if you're Toledo. You can't let him start hitting those shots from outside. You got to be able to keep him contained. He can take over this game in an instant. So if you're Toledo, if you're Todd Kowalczyk, you got to be able to focus the defense on him, not give him any space to move or breathe. And that's where you're looking at Isaiah Adams to really lock him up here today.
Definitely, and you know, something with this Toledo team, their biggest strength is they do not turn over the ball. No matter how, not jumping off the page their shooting stats may look or their defensive metrics may look, they turn the ball over 9.3 times per game, Artie. Best in the MAC, 10th best mark in the entire nation.
And that's where you get a guy like Javante Campbell in. That's where he affects today's matchup. Obviously the leading MAC stealer in the conference. He's tracing a record right now, Tyler, with all the steals he's got. Only had 2 last game, so it's weird to say, but it was a bit of a quieter night in the steal category for him with just 2. But he's chasing history. He's chasing records. He had he will definitely be a factor in this game, a one-hand, healthy hand or not.
Yep.
So that's where you really have to watch out if you're Toledo as well.
And that we do have a couple records and milestones that we are looking at for this game, for Bowling Green specifically. You mentioned Javante Campbell. Campbell currently sits at 76 steals on the season. He is 8 steals away from DeMar Moore's BG single season record of 82. And he is also just a few away from tying his season record that he set last year at Northern Oklahoma. That was 78, so he's 3 away from breaking that. This is a far one for him to reach. He's currently not on pace for it, but 27 steals away from the MAC record. Ball State's Bonzi Wells, 103 and 97-98. Looking like the BG's going to need to make the tournament for him to have a chance to break that one. And Dejon Humphrey for the Falcons in the starting lineup today, 4 points away from 1,000 career collegiate points. Once again, the starting lineups: Bowling Green, Derek Butler, Jemai Felt, Dejon Humphrey, Braylon Green, and Marcus Johnson. If you don't hear Trey Thomas in that is because if you have not heard, broken leg for Trey Thomas. His season is over, and seemingly his collegiate career will be done with that broken leg. For Toledo, Javen Simmons, Sam Lewis, Bryce Ford, Sonny Wilson, and Isaiah Adams. This place still filing in, but pretty much fully packed. And it is loud in here. Crowd is ready to go for this one.
I mean, just looking around, and if I look behind me, there's so many Rockets fans here. They know what this matchup means. The Battle of I-75, how much history is packed behind it, how much it means to win. They're throwing out T-shirts already. That's how hyped this crowd is here today.
Jemai Felt will be in the center for Bowling Green. He'll be opposite Javen Simmons. They will tip it off. Bowling Green is wearing their all oranges. with the BGSU orange and brown across the chest. This season, they are 1-7 in those, 5-11 in the Todd Simon era. Toledo's going with the Midnight Blues with white Toledo across the chest and white numbering for both teams. Still waiting for some of this hype music and videos to get done playing before we can get underway with this one. But you can feel the excitement and energy pulsing through the arena for this.
I mean, you got to play those hype videos to get everybody hyped. You got to get this place loud. You got to disrupt the Falcons. And the Falcons just got to block it out.
Jemai Felt, Javen Simmons in the center. At the Rocket logo, Jemai Felt wins the tip. Bowling Green gonna take it right to left across your radio dials. Toledo will take it left to right. It is Braylon Green with it. Heavy boos coming down from the crowd early.
Heavy
Jemai
boos is
Felt
an understatement.
gives it off to Marcus Johnson, top of the key. He slides it over to Dejon Humphrey. Humphrey working on Sam Lewis, gets twitched off now to Isaiah Adams. He dishes it over to Derek Butler. Butler almost falls, driving in on the left wing. 3 on the shot clock. Butler step back jumper at the baseline, got it to go, beating the buzzer.
Derek Butler so patient there, almost fell over, managed to recover and hit that step back jumper to get BG started off with a 2-0 lead.
Sonny Wilson with the ball for Toledo. Gives it off here to Bryce Ford. Now to Isaiah Adams, trying to find Sonny Wilson inside, driving baseline. He does. Wilson retreats back out to the three-point line. Hands it off to Sam Lewis. Lewis inside the arc about the free throw line, picks up his dribble, gives it out to Javen Simmons. Deep triple, too strong, rebounded by Braylon Green. He's going to push the action on the other side. Trying to go coast to coast. Shot affected, may have been blocked there by Sam Lewis.
Braylon Green, he's got the speed, just couldn't break through the second level past Sam Lewis. But he's going to get credit with that block.
Javen Simmons finds a wide open Sam Lewis in the corner. Can't hit it. Nice closeout defense by Marcus Johnson. Bowling Green left him open. Sam Lewis couldn't make him pay.
Yeah, and you can't do that. You can't leave a guy like Sam Lewis wide open. Bowling Green with a lucky break there.
Marcus Johnson spot up mid-range jumper. Too strong off the back iron. Sam Lewis in transition. One man to beat. He does beat Derek Butler. Transition layup for Sam Lewis is good. We are tied up at 2, just about 2 minutes into this one.
It's a real simple play. Not much to say there. Just great pass and just a good layup to get things tied up.
Derek Butler with the ball on the right wing in front of the Toledo bench. Works around the Jemai Felt screen. Butler inside. Heavy contest on the layup, but flying in, Derek Butler gets the finger roll to go. Bowling Green back out ahead 4-2. 17-15 counting to play in the first half. On the other end, Bryce Ford, right wing 3, does not go. Jemai Felt corrals the rebound. Derek Butler working with it. Driving at the free throw line. Trying to move to his right. Gets inside contact. Layup does not go, but he does draw the foul.
Derek Butler with some intensity today. He's driving inside, and he's already headed to the free throw line with 4 already.
The foul is on Sam Lewis. That'll be his first. Derek Butler with all 4 Bowling Green points. Chance to add a couple more here at the line. On the season, Derek Butler, 74.4% from the free throw line. Went 3 for 4 at the charity stripe against Kent State on Tuesday. Gets the first one to go. It's good to see Derek Butler getting strong out of the gates here. Strong performance out of the gates for him. Past 2 games, averaged just 5 points per game. Almost as many personal fouls, 3. 3 for 12 from the field, 0 for 5 from deep. He's come out aggressive his first start in the past 7 games.
Yeah, he's not usually a guy you'd expect to have a quiet game. He had a stretch of really good double-digit performances earlier in the season. He's been dealing with some illness past couple of games, but he looks like to be largely recovered in the past couple of weeks.
Butler missed the second one off the front iron. On the other end, Bryce Ford misses a triple from the corner.
Toledo shooting 1 for 5 to start things off.
They are definitely slow out of the gates here. Going to be an offensive foul on Jemai Felt. Working down low with Isaiah Adams. They're going to call a foul on Jemai Felt. Marcus Johnson had the ball, will not get a chance to jack up a shot. Toledo will take it the other way. First turnover of the game by Bowling Green. TOL-EDO chants coming down from the crowd here at Savage Arena. You will hear that a lot throughout tonight's game. Sonny Wilson driving inside over a couple Bowling Green defenders. Lays it up off the backboard and good. They cut Bowling Green's lead down to 1, 5-4, 17 minutes to play in the first half.
Wilson, 15.5 points per game. That's 8th in the MAC, and he shoots 52.5% from the field. Good floater there from Wilson.
Marcus Johnson hands it off to Derek Butler, top of the key. Butler driving to his left, now moves inside to his right. Shot clock below 10, trying to spin out of it, puts up a spinning layup, kind of a floater moving to his left, comes short, does not hit iron. Sonny Wilson takes it the other way after a rebound by Javen Simmons. Wilson drops it off to Adams, now to Lewis. Lewis, step back three against Marcus Johnson. Off front iron, off back iron, knocked out of bounds by Javen Simmons. Bowling Green takes it the other way.
And it looks like we're going to get our first substitution of the day. Javante Campbell is going to check in for Braylon Green.
And noticeably, Campbell not in that starting five. For Javante, first game this season, he has not started.
Obviously, he's been dealing with that hand injury for multiple weeks now.
Todd Simon mentioned his last practice was over a month ago. He's a guy that does not practice. He just goes out here and plays because of that hand injury. As there's a miscue on a pass inside. Javante Campbell trying to find Jemai Felt down low, through to out of bounds. Toledo will take it the other way. 2 early turnovers by Bowling Green. UT has not committed a turnover so far. We have 16 minutes to play in the first half. Next stoppage will get us to a media timeout. Spot up, mid-range jumper by Sonny Wilson. Extends Toledo's lead here, or gives Toledo a lead, I should say, 6-5.
Just as perfect as a shot you're going to see from Wilson. It's perfect arch, nothing but net. Wide open for the inside, for the mid-range jumper.
They cannot leave him that wide open. Javante Campbell drives inside off top of the key. He's going to be hit hard as he was trying to jump stop his way inside for a layup. He will go to the line for 2 free throws, but not before we take that media timeout. 15:27 to play in the first half. Toledo leads Bowling Green here at Savage Arena early, 6-5. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball here on Falcon Radio.
It's time now to see what's happening around BGSU. Mondays and Wednesdays throughout the semester, it's free yoga as you are at the library. Registration is not required, but attendees should bring their own yoga mat or towel. Also on Monday, it's Let's Talk in the Health and Human Services Room 107. This is a free and confidential service available to all BGSU students. Students can meet for a brief, informal 15-minute consultation with BGSU Counseling Center staff. And coming up on Tuesday, it's Game Nights in the Rad from 6 until 8 p.m. Game Nights in the Rad strive to help students prioritize their well-being and connections. For a full list of events, visit events.bgsu.edu. I'm Nate. That's Look at What's Happening Around BGSU on Falcon Radio.
Back here at Savage Arena, Tyler Kavlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Still in that media timeout, both teams in their huddles. If you're just joining, Toledo leading Bowling Green 6-5. We have 15:27 left to play in the first half of this one. Before we went to break, Bryce Ford committed a foul. Javante Campbell will be at the line for 2 free throws once they get back underway. What are your early observations for this one, Artie?
Well, it's an interesting lineup that Bowling Green is going with so far. Obviously, no Javante Campbell in the starting lineup, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. Braylon Green obviously stepping in, but he's got 2 rebounds already. So it looks like to me Simon is trying to prioritize speed in his lineup today, try to get past things. Toledo not having really the greatest shooting start I've ever seen them have. They've obviously started 0 for 5 from 3 today. They're 3 from 8 overall shooting-wise. Bowling Green, they're taking a little bit slower on the shots. Obviously, only person to score today is Derek Butler with 5 points. So it seems today, in the absence of Trey Thomas and Javante Campbell in the starting lineup, they're playing through Derek Butler primarily as the primary ball handler. As for Toledo, it's just sort of the same thing. A lot of passing, A lot of low turnover possessions to start things off. Obviously, they've had 2 turnovers already, actually. My mistake, so. I mean, not. They've had 0, my bad. I was looking at the Bowling Green.
2 personal fouls.
2 personal fouls.
They're right next to each
pretty
other.
close together. They're pretty close together. You could see how I'd make that
Actually, they're
mistake.
going to not call that a shooting foul. I thought they had. It's going to be a foul on the court before the layup. So, pardon me, it's not going to be 2 free throws for Javante Campbell. It's Marcus Johnson with it, giving it to Campbell beyond the arc. Campbell now driving baseline, picks up his dribble, almost hits the official, throwing it out of bounds. Trying to get it to Marcus Johnson. Official had to sidestep that one, and Todd Simon's going to tell Campbell, slow it down here. Don't rush that. I thought Campbell could have driven down baseline there. Looked like he picked up his dribble a little early there and forced himself into a corner.
That felt like a nervous pass.
Yeah.
You were taking a lot, driving inside. Maybe he was worried he was going to get a travel. He was just trying to force himself out of that trap. He was pretty close to the out of bounds line, so I understand why he did it, but it was just too fast, too quick, and an errant pass.
Newly checked in Seth Hubbard with it. Trying to get it inside to Javen Simmons. Just knocked away. Bowling Green taking it the other way. It's Derek Butler with it, driving inside. Contested there by Simmons, but Butler takes the contact, gets the layup to go.
It's going to snap a nearly 3-minute scoreless streak for Bowling Green.
Will Seth Hubbard trying to get a layup to go inside. Does not. Flying in is Owinga trying to put it back. He cannot get it. Derek Butler step back 3 on the other end. Cannot go. But inside, Wilkins, junior exact, newly checked in. Rebound, put back layup. Bowling Green ahead by 3, 9-6, 14:20 to play.
Junior exact coming off one of the best games of his career wearing the orange and brown. Scored 11 against Kent State last time out.
Sonny Wilson inside, now retreats back out to the 3-point line. Corner 3 in front of the Bowling Green bench goes. Nice shot there by Sonny Wilson.
Wilson averaging 40.8 from 3 this season.
On the other end, Derek Butler, triple wide open, off iron, but a nice rebound by Exact down low. Kicks it back out to Derek Butler. He won't miss twice. Hits the triple.
So that's 2 possessions in a row where Exact has gotten an offensive rebound that's resulted in points for the Falcons.
12-9, Bowling Green leads. 13.5 to play in the first half. Sonny Wilson picks up his dribble, top of the key. Gives it off here to Jalen Owinga. Up top to Lewis. Now over to Wilson, the near side wing. He throws it over to Lewis on the far side wing in front of the Bowling Green bench. He slides it inside to Javen Simmons. Nice spin move to work inside to the rim, and the layup goes for Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons shooting 53.3% from the field this season. He's not one to miss when he gets inside the paint.
Simmons is a force down low, leads the MAC in offensive rebounds, 80 coming into the game this season. Javante Campbell driving inside on the other end. Gets the layup on the left side of the rim to go.
Just a one-hand wraparound, Michael Jordan-like from Javante Campbell on that layup.
Simmons with it, top of the key, guarded by Campbell, now double teamed by Humphrey. He gives it off to Sam Lewis. Bowling Green playing a little bit of a 3-2 zone here. Inside is Simmons, spin around floater against Marcus Johnson, does not go. Exact corrals yet another rebound. His 3rd rebound of the game. Marcus Johnson launches a deep 3, nails it in front of the Toledo bench.
Marcus Johnson is unlimited range. He's shown it all season. He hit so many threes against Kent State, and he's getting things started off hot here against Toledo.
Johnson scored 28 points in the last contest against Toledo. He puts Bowling Green out to a 6-point advantage, 17-11. Under 12 minutes to play in the first half. Next stoppage will bring us to a media timeout. It's dished out to Sam Lewis in the corner. Lewis launches a 3-pointer, does not go. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it's off of Owinga.
Whoa.
Looked like it may have been off Exact. Official's going to talk here.
Yeah,
they're going to say it is off Wilkins Jr. Exact. I think that's the right call.
That's exactly the right call. I was shocked. There was nobody in the vicinity of that ball when Wilkins Jr. went up for the rebound, and it just bounced out off his hand. So
Todd Simon's going to make his case. I think Dejon Humphrey trying to tell him, no, I think that's out on us, but he will make his case. We will see if anything happens. Not anything will. It'll be Toledo ball, baseline inbound. When we come back, Bowling Green leading Toledo 17-11 here at Savage Arena with 11:45 to play in the first half. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzz is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm gonna start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
BGSU softball faces their toughest test of the season against four-time defending national champion Oklahoma on Saturday, February 22nd at 4 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Coyle Withrow will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at Savage Arena, Tyler Kavlitz and Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Bowling Green leading Toledo 17-11, 11:45 to play in the first half. Make sure you check out the Zig Zone from 4 to 5 p.m. every Sunday on WBGU 88.1 FM. It's where we will have Holden Ruck talking with a group of Falcon Media Sports Network analysts and personalities about everything BGSU athletics, and a little fun conversation mixed in. I will actually be filling in for Holden this Sunday, so make sure you tune in. We'll have a good group and cast for that show. But here at Savage Arena, Artie, Bowling Green out to a 6-point advantage on a 5-0 run currently over the last minute 23. They've jumped out with energy in this one.
Oh, definitely. And you can see there's a little bit of a spark to him. Derek Butler already had 10 points to start this one off. Williams Jr. exact, been so crucial today. He's got 3 rebounds already and an assist. There's just been a fire, I think, that's been lit in them a bit. They know that they only have a couple games left to sneak into the tournament, and they want to show off today against their rival.
Inbound pass here is Seth Hubbard. Up top, the newly checked in Andre Lorenzen. Isaiah Adams with it, gives it off to Hubbard. Mid-range jumper goes. Nice shot. Off-ball movement there by Seth Hubbard. Javante Campbell handling the ball, still wearing that brace on his right hand. Has it on the right wing, gives it off to Exact, back to Campbell. Exact, Campbell, Butler, Felt, and Humphrey on the court for Bowling Green. Campbell working inside, driving with his left hand. It's going to be swatted away before he can get a shot off. Running with it the other way is going to be Bryce Ford. He'll give it off to Andre Lorenzen. Three-pointer in front of the Bowling Green bench goes for Lorenzen. Toledo cuts it down to a 1-point deficit, 17-16.
And Lorenzen isn't going to miss those when you get an opportunity. Last season, he shot 47.2% from 3. This season, gone down quite a bit at 32.7%, but still dangerous from long range.
Here's a three-pointer on the other end, launched by Dejon Humphrey. That goes. Bowling Green back out to a 4-point advantage, 20-16. Humphrey's been shooting it well as of late, and he is now just 1 point away from 1,000 career collegiate points. Missed shot there by Toledo. Butler going to take it the other way. Give it to Dejon Humphrey for 1,000. Does not go. Rattles out a deep three-point attempt by Humphrey. It was Isaiah Adams missing the jumper a couple plays ago for Toledo. Bryce Ford driving inside. Floater over Jemai Felt. Does not go. Too strong. Rebounded by Humphrey. He'll give it to Butler to bring up the court. Butler making his way inside, just outside that painted area. Now inside the paint. Little step back floater. Does not go. Rebounded by Javen Simmons.
I like the defense by Hubbard.
Sorry, Isaiah Adams with the rebounds.
I like the defense by Hubbard on that possession. He did a good job of locking down Derek, predicting his moves, and staying on top of him when he tried to step back.
And it looks like Dejon Humphrey could not get set as Adams was driving in. He's going to take a blocking foul, and he'll go off the court. Braylon Green will check in for him. Dejon Humphrey now just 1 point away from 1,000 career collegiate points.
Well, of course, he I think every player wants to get that perfect 1,000 when they hit 1,000 career points. You know, no extra numbers. But it looks like he won't get that experience when he hit that 3. But still, a major. He's on the stepping stone of a major milestone, I should say, with 1,000 just in reach.
Bowling Green leading Toledo 20-16. 9:45 and counting to play in the first half. Isaiah Adams lost the ball baseline. Nice defense by Braylon Green. He was trying to drive in to the rim. Lost it, went out of bounds. Bowling Green will take it the other way. Second turnover of the game for the Rockets. Toledo here early on shooting under 40% from the field, 2 for 8 from deep. BG 50% from the field, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc, and Derek Butler makes his way inside, takes the contact, makes the layup, and one opportunity upcoming for number 10.
What a game already for Derek Butler. 12 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 2 rebounds, and a steal in just 10 minutes. So Butler just taking every advantage he can when he got inserted back into the starting lineup. Butler
already up to 12 points. Here today, by far the leading scorer in this one. Butler misses it from the line, just 1 for 3 from the charity stripe so far today. He'll stay at 12 points. Bowling Green's lead will stay at 6, 22-16. 9.5 minutes to play in the first half. Bryce Ford with the ball for Toledo. It is Lewis, Ford, Adams, Lorenzen, and Kirkic on the court, and that is a three-pointer drained by Sam Lewis with contact. He'll go to the line for a chance for a 4-point play. That one got these fans on their feet, Artie.
Yeah, too much separation was left between Sam Lewis and a BG defender. He's going to hit those every time, and then Braylon Green, he tries to come in, tries to make the save, but just a little too much oomph on that jump. He ends up going straight into Sam Lewis, and that's going to draw the foul and send him to the line for a chance for a 4-point play.
Marcus Johnson getting ready to check back in after this free throw. Lewis misses it at the line, a 74.7% shooter this season. Johnson will have to wait another possession to come in. Nice pass inside by Javante Campbell. Bounce pass to find Jemai Felt, and he slams it home with 2 hands. BG leading 24-19. 9 minutes to play in the first half. Sam Lewis with it, picks up his dribble, guarded by Javante Campbell. Gives it off to Isaiah Adams. Adams kicks it to Lewis in the corner. Now to Lorenzen, wide open, top of the key, three-pointer, gets it to go. 24-22, Bowling Green's lead down to 2.
Bowling Green's defense has not been doing the greatest job of guarding that three-point line. There's been multiple times where people have been left open today, and Lorenzen makes them pay for that mistake right there.
Derek Butler kicks it out to Wilkins. Junior exact. His three-pointer rattles out. Rebounded here by Sam Lewis.
It looks like if Butler didn't take that extra dribble, he might have had Jemai Felt open in the paint if he didn't commit that pass to exact.
Adams picks up his dribble. Sam Lewis going to launch a three-pointer. Bingo! Lewis gets it to go. Toledo's heating up from beyond the arc.
Bowling Green on a 6-0 run in the past minute and a 9-2 run in the past minute 30.
Toledo, I think you mean there.
Did I say BG?
I think you did.
I did? Oh, man, I thought I said Toledo. Sorry, that 3 was so impactful. I lost control. Sam Lewis.
Derek Butler looking to end the streak, does just that. Big three-pointer by Derek Butler, spot up top of the key. Rattles at home. Bowling Green back ahead by 2, 27-25.
15 points now for Derek Butler in just 12 minutes.
Wide open in the corner is Bryce Ford. Cannot make Bowling Green pay. Rebounded by Butler. He's going to try to push the pace here. Butler, spot up three-pointer in transition, does not go. Heat check for Derek Butler. He's already taken 10 shots here today. And he steals a pass in transition on its way for Gerger Burchik. Butler hands it off to Braylon Green. Green will operate the Bowling Green offense. Dejon Humphrey, Marcus Johnson getting ready to check in for Bowling Green at the next stoppage. Our next stoppage will also bring us to a media timeout. Butler has it once again, just inside the three-point arc. 10 on the shot clock, gives it off to Campbell. He drives baseline, picks up his dribble, tries to throw it in the corner to exact, picked off by Lorenzen. It's Isaiah Adams with it, gets past exact, now pushes Braylon Green past the baseline, and he's going to be hit hard, go to the ground, take a second to get up, and that'll bring us to a media timeout. It'll actually be a turnover on Isaiah Adams. I believe they're going to call an offensive foul or travel. I don't exactly see what they're assigning him. we'll have to see when we come back what the officials roll with that one. But Bowling Green leading Toledo 27-25, 6:48 to play in the first half. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball on Falcon Radio. On November 15th, 2024, BGSU hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away with the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Back here in Toledo, Ohio, on the campus of the University of Toledo, Bowling Green leading the Rockets 27-25. Already, Toledo went on a pretty big run there, but Bowling Green was able to, survive through that first storm of scoring by the Rockets, come out of it on the other side still with an advantage. And they hold on to that 2-point advantage. Before we went to break, we weren't sure exactly what they called. We believe it was a travel on Isaiah Adams. Could have easily been an offensive foul.
Arguably really should have been.
Yeah, really lowered that shoulder. Braylon Green went from about the the mid-circle there, the semicircle, I should say, the restricted area circle, threw him basically past the baseline line. And they did not call that foul, but he then slid to the floor after some more contact, and we believe they called a travel there. So it is Bowling Green ball. Braylon Green, Jemai Felt out, Dejon Humphrey, Marcus Johnson in. For Toledo, Bryce Ford, Andre Lorenzen, Gerger Burchick out, Javen Simmons, Sonny Wilson, Seth Hubbard back into the game. Three-pointer launched here by Exact, too strong. Offensive rebound and put back by Marcus Johnson.
Just right place, right time for Marcus Johnson. Ball, Exact missed the shot, but the ball fell perfectly into the hands of Marcus Johnson.
And this one knocked away by Johnson, going to be taken by Exact. Johnson getting in the passing lane there. Ball in the hands of Derek Butler. Game's leading scorer, 15 points already here today in the first half.
But he also just has 14 points on the Falcons team combined.
Javante Campbell driving inside, left-handed layup, gets it to go. Nice shot getting through the contact by Javante Campbell. Campbell, his first points of the game. Bowling Green's lead back out to 6, 31-25, 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. Isaiah Adams picks up his dribble, gives it to Javen Simmons. Inside, wide open, Sam Lewis gets the layup. Miscommunication on the Bowling Green defense. Toledo drew him out to the three-point line. Sam Lewis wide open under the rim.
Yeah, they overcommitted to guarding the three-point line after they've hit so many shots so far, about 5. So, and they weren't expecting Lewis to be inside the paint because he's primarily an outside shooter. That's going to leave him wide open underneath the rim.
Marcus Johnson hands it off to Dejon Humphrey. 1 point away from 1,000 career collegiate points. Humphrey with it on the right wing, driving inside. Here's a jumper inside the free throw line. Does not go off front iron. Seth Hubbard going to take it the other way. Trying to go coast to coast, stripped, gets it. Falls to the ground, but passes it into the corner by Sam Lewis. What a hustle play by Seth Hubbard. This one knocked out of bounds in front of the Bowling Green bench, but it'll stay Toledo ball off of the Falcons. Jemai Felt checks in for Wilkins Jr. Exact. So on the court for Bowling Green, it is Butler, Humphrey, Johnson, Campbell, and Felt. For Toledo, Simmons, Lewis, Wilson, Adams, and Hubbard. Wilson with it, trying to pass it in here to Javen Simmons. And there's going to be a foul on Jemai Felt. Over the back foul, getting too aggressive there. for Bowling Green, you cannot have Jemai Felk get into foul trouble here tonight, Artie.
Oh, absolutely
You just
not.
do not have the depth to survive it.
You know, you've come close in a couple games. He's picked up 4, a lot of 2 personal foul first halves, but now more than ever, you need him in the game. He's your primary rebounder and shot blocker. You're now down Trey Thomas as well, so you don't really have a lot of guys left anymore. I mean, you could ask Exact to step up as much as he can, but it'd be tough to do so.
And that was Felt's second personal foul, so he goes off the court after just checking in. And Exact, who went off the bench for him, comes back on to the court. Sam Lewis with it, top of the key at the midcourt Rockets logo. That logo really stretches basically to both three-point arcs. And there's going to be another Bowling Green foul. It's going to be on Javante Campbell, his first. Bowling Green with 6 early fouls. Toledo with just 3. Javen Simmons hands off to Sonny Lewis, now to Lorenzen. Back top of the key to Sam Lewis. Lewis to Simmons at the free throw line. Driving inside past Marcus Johnson. Layup does not go. There's contact. We have Derek Butler and Lorenzen falling to the ground. And it's going to be a 3rd straight foul on Bowling Green.
Simon is irate right now. He is absolutely irate.
He's holding his hands up in front of his face. He's trying to contain and not go berserk on these officials. But Todd Simon is reaching a breaking point here with these officials early on. Derek Butler picks up his first foul of the game. Todd Simon still chewing into the ears of the officials as play gets back underway. Sam Lewis with the ball. Behind the back, step back jumper against Marcus Johnson. What a shot by Sam Lewis.
Sam Lewis, I think the number one thing I've seen him today is patience. He's very patient. He's very willing to sit and dribble and find those shots, create his own shots, I should say.
Derek Butler almost loses it on the baseline, throws it to Javante Campbell. Smart move. Jumps up and passes it to Marcus Johnson so he doesn't pass that timeline, that mid-court line. Marcus Johnson backing down Simmons, works his way inside, double teamed. He traveled before he could throw it out to Derek Butler. Another turnover for Bowling Green, their 5th of the game. And that brings us to our under 4 media timeout, our final scheduled media timeout of the first half. 3:42 to play. Bowling Green with a slight advantage over Toledo, 31-29. You are listening to BGSU men's basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
BGSU men's basketball heads 30 minutes north for the second leg of the Battle of I-75 against Toledo on February 21st. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavalitz and Artie Abrego at 5:45 for pregame and 6 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
Bowling Green with a 31-29 lead over Toledo. 3:42 to play in the first half. Tyler Kavalitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network here for you with this one. Make sure you pay a visit to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. There you can find all of our highlight videos from games, our rebroadcast of Falcon Media Sports Network calls, and you can also see press conferences and much more on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Make sure to pay a visit to that. Give us a subscribe and like some of those videos. That you can find a lot of content, video feature stories even, on that YouTube channel. But Artie, Bowling Green, you said off air that was one of the worst sequences that you have seen by this team this year, and I won't really argue that one. 3 straight fouls. They're scoreless for over 2 minutes. They still have the lead, though, even after all that.
They still do. Only the shot by Sam Lewis ended. I guess that's a positive thing about those 3 straight personal fouls. They didn't get really a lot of chances to score, and luckily they weren't all free throws, but still not really the position you want to be in if you're Bowling Green. Just a 1-2 point lead.
Sonny Wilson with it, driving inside. Spin move into a floater, does not go, but Javen Simmons in there to do what he does best. Get an offensive rebound, clean up the boards, and put it back for 2 points. Toledo ties it all up with Bowling Green, 31 apiece.
It's going to be the first score of the day for Simmons as well. 2 points now.
Dejon Humphrey with it. Good ball movement on the outside for Bowling Green. Marcus Johnson, deep three-pointer in front of the Toledo bench. Nothing but net for Marcus Johnson. He puts Bowling Green back out ahead by 3 with 2:50 to play, 34-31 here in the first half of this one. Knocked away by Javante Campbell. The pass is, but Toledo still maintains possession. Sonny Wilson with it beyond the arc. He gives it off to Sam Lewis. Short armed a three-pointer there, went off front iron, did not get it. Rebounded, came right to Bryce Ford. He passed it off to Sonny Wilson, drove inside, and got a layup, 34-33. Bowling Green still leads, only by 1 point.
7 points now for Sonny Wilson.
Bowling Green has led for over 15 minutes of this contest. Javante Campbell driving inside, lost the ball, but he is fouled.
I should add, it's 9 points for Sonny Wilson, not 7. The stats page had not updated yet.
That is Sonny Wilson's first foul of the game.
Inbound here coming from Javante Campbell.
And we're going to have a whistle
Wait to see.
before that inbound. Is it a clock issue?
This foul is going to be called on Sonny Wilson here.
Is it another on Wilson? It is. Back-to-back fouls on Sonny Wilson. That's huge for Bowling Green.
Reoccurring personal fouls seems to be a theme of today's game, Tyler.
Yeah. We now have an official over at the scores table. Not sure if there's something more to this. Right now, 2:04 on the clock, the game clock, that is. And they're going to put 5 seconds back onto the clock. So it is at 2:09. The shot clock will be reset to 20. Javante Campbell inbounding, finds Dejon Humphrey driving inside, gets the layup to go. Dejon Humphrey, 1,000 career collegiate points. The third Falcon to hit that mark this season. Congratulations to Dejon Humphrey on the career milestone.
Yeah, big congratulations to Dejon. That's a major milestone. Like you said, joins his fellow teammates Trey Thomas and Derek Butler in the 1,000 points club.
On the other side, Isaiah Adams missed the jumper. Sam Lewis offensive rebound, tipped it in for 2 points. And then Javante Campbell drives down with the left hand, gets a layup to go. Bowling Green maintains a 3-point advantage over Toledo, 38-35. Javante Campbell with a block on Sonny Wilson going up for a layup. This short-handed Bowling Green team has put out all the effort in this first half. Sam Lewis inside, floater, spins out. That one was in and magically came out.
Speaking of short-handed, that block came from a literal short-handed player in Javante Campbell.
One-handed man, Todd Simon referred to him a couple games ago.
The one-armed bandit.
Coming up with all sorts of the nicknames for number 2 for Bowling Green. Campbell picks up his dribble, gives it off to Derek Butler. He's been quiet for a little bit. Deep three-pointer launch by Butler. He got it to go. 18 points on the game for Derek Butler. He launched that one from Bowling Green.
Was that a reverse announcer's jinx? Do we have a word for that?
Might have just created it right here, right now. Sonny Wilson had an open three, passed it up, drove inside. Nice ball movement to Sam Lewis at the baseline. He drives inside while trying to put up a layup, gets fouled. That's going to go on Derek Butler, his second.
Yeah, Derek Butler knew that was on him, too. He put his hand up in the air right away to let him know that that was on him. That was his bad. Lewis at the line shoots about 74.7% this season. He scored 14 points against Bowling Green last time they played. He's not going to pass that mark with 15 points now.
As he hits the first from the line, like you said there. 15 points for Sam Lewis, an efficient 6 for 10 shooting from the field. He's now made multiple three-pointers already in 8 of the past 9 games. The leader in three-point percentage in the Mid-American Conference hits both from the line. Derek Butler with 18 for Bowling Green, Sam Lewis with 16 for Toledo. Approaching 30 seconds to play in the first half. Going to be a timeout called by Todd Simon. 32.8 to play. 37 for Toledo, but 41 for Bowling Green. The Falcons still maintaining a 4-point advantage. They have led for nearly 90% of this game.
Definitely a pretty good performance you've seen out of this first half of Bowling Green. Definitely feel like they're playing with a lot of fire. Their backs up against the wall type attitude right now. They're definitely showing off against a national audience, I should say. This is a nationally televised game on CBS as well.
Definitely is a big opportunity for this Bowling Green team to really get back into it in the standings and make their run at the postseason. If they needed a win, this is the win right here to kickstart some energy back into this team. I was talking with some other fellow Falcon Media Sports Network members before this game, and I said this Bowling Green team's going to react to the recent injury of Trey Thomas in 2 ways. One, they're either going to come out with all the energy they have and give 110% and fight for each other and bring them closer. Or 2, it's going to be the injury that sucks out the rest of this energy from this team, and we're going to see how much they have left in their gas tank. We're seeing they still have some gas left in that tank.
So by other FMSN members, you mean me and Noah Seeley on the ride up here to the Savage Arena?
I talk to people before the car ride, too.
Okay, sure.
I don't just hide under a rock all day, Artie.
Sure you did.
There is about a 6-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Javante Campbell launches a rare 3. That does not go. Rebounded by Simmons with 8 to go. Adams has it now. 4 on the clock, down to 3. He launches a deep three-pointer over Marcus Johnson. Off backboard, does not go. Tip-in at the buzzer by Bryce Ford is no good. Bowling Green going to head into halftime with a 4-point lead over their arch rival, the Toledo Rockets, 41-37. We will take a quick break and wrap up the first 20 minutes of action when we come back here at Savage Arena. Bowling Green goes into halftime up by 4. You are listening to BGSU Men's Basketball here on Falcon Radio.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Falcon men's basketball faces Eastern Michigan on the road in a must-win game for the Falcons on Tuesday, February 25th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Artie Abrego and Foster Rostai at 6:15 for pregame and 6:30 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
On February 11th, 2025, BGSU senior forward Marcus Johnson nailed an improbable corner three-pointer at the buzzer to give Bowling Green a lead over the Ohio Bobcats going into halftime. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call on Falcon Radio.
Thomas looking for someone to inbound it to. Gets it to Johnson. Corner 3, fading away to baseline. Marcus Johnson nails it. Bowling Green goes into half with the 2-point advantage, 34-32 on the miracle shot by Johnson.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU hockey wraps up their final road series of the regular season against Bemidji State on Saturday, February 22nd. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Sean Connolly at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on Falcon Radio.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
BGSU Baseball's sophomore first baseman Brady Birchmeyer had a stellar opening weekend in an opening 3-game set with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. Birchmeyer's clutch hits late in the Sunday matchup in Murfreesboro included a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth that scored TJ Tackett and DJ Newman and put the Falcons ahead, bringing the game to extra innings after the Blue Raiders scored 1 in the ninth. In the top of the 11th, Birchmeyer came up clutch once again, hitting an RBI single to put the Falcons up 11-9, leading to a 12-9 victory, the second of the Orange and Brown season. The former Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year nominee is hitting .267 on the year with an 800 OPS, building on a 2024 season where he earned 11 RBIs and 2 home runs and 67 at-bats. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week. Falcon hockey heads to Bemidji State for the final road series of the regular season on Friday, February 21st. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Sean Connolly at 7:45 for pregame and 8 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
A fantastic first half for the Bowling Green Falcons against the Toledo Rockets. They lead the Midnight Blue and Gold by 4 here at halftime, 41-37. Welcome into the halftime show here at Savage Arena. Tyler Kamblitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Artie, that was about as good of a 20-minute performance by Bowling Green that we could have imagined after hearing the Trey Thomas news just a few hours ago.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 41-37 half. You're up by 4. Derek Butler going off 18 points in just 20 minutes. You've pretty much contained a lot of big guys like Bryce Ford hasn't really had big impact. Isaiah Adams has not had a huge impact as well in the game. 0 points so far for him. Sam Lewis obviously going off just a little bit, but Javon Simmons only 4 points today. So you're containing a lot of their guys so far if you're Bowling Green. You're winning the points in the paint battle at 20-14. You forced 5 Toledo turnovers. That's a successful half by any metric.
Yeah, you look at basically every metric, and it's good for Bowling Green, especially compared to their season averages. Bowling Green shooting 56.7% from the field in the first half, 6 for 13 from deep. Both teams had just 3 free throw attempts. Bowling Green went 1 for 3 from the line. Toledo went 2 for 3. The UT 44.1% from the field, 35.7% from deep. And like you mentioned, Derek Butler, the game's leading scorer with 18, 7 for 11 from the field, 3 for 5 on three-pointers. Sam Lewis, counterpart for Toledo, 16 points, 6 for 10 from the field, 2 for 5 from beyond the arc. 2 guys in each team putting in work down low. You have Wilkins Jr. exact for the Orange and Brown. 4 rebounds, 2 of them on the offensive boards. And Bryce Ford for Toledo is the game's leading rebounder. with 6 rebounds, 2 of those coming on the offensive boards. Good halftime performance, just wrapping up. A group of jump ropers, always entertaining. Had them at a Bowling Green game last year, if I remember correctly. But you have a lot of good performances here. The Derek Butler ones and the Sam Lewis stand out. But then you go into some of these other metrics, some of these other stats, Artie, and a few things stick out for me. One, the initial one that sticks out for me is the points in the paint. Last game against Kent State, Bowling Green had just 26 points in the paint the entire game. Kent State had 50. Today, Bowling Green has 20. They have held Toledo to 14 in the first 20 minutes of action.
Yeah. First off, big shout out to the halftime performers. That was a really cool show. I remember trying to do jump rope as a kid, and I would constantly hit myself in the face. So big shout out to those kids because they're much better than I was with the jump rope when I was a kid. Also, just when you look at that in the points in the paint battle, that is such a major improvement compared to last game. You've only had 14 points in that points in paint, especially with a guy like Javon Simmons, who I thought was going to be kind of getting fed the ball inside the paint. You've only gotten 4 points out of him if you're the Rockets. So that's a pretty successful half by that metric. The thing that concerns me, like I mentioned, the rebounding. Toledo's currently winning the rebounding battle, 8 offensive rebounds for Toledo. That is huge for them because they're currently winning the second chance points battle with 10-7 compared to Bowling Green. So that's something you got to watch out for. You got to be able to box out your opponent. You got to be able to grab those boards. You got to be able to get on the fast break because I'm liking the fast-paced offense I'm seeing from Bowling Green. It feels very quick. Like they're making decisions very quickly. They know who they want to go to. They're playing through Butler and they're playing through Javonte Campbell as their primarily go-to guys, and they're using Marcus Johnson. If they can get a 3 out of him, that's great, but they're really going for that inside the points mid-range scoring game today with sort of a faster-paced offense against this Toledo defense.
When you think about it, nobody wants to lose to their rivals like Bowling Green did earlier this season, 84-71. And this Falcons team certainly knows that their backs are against the wall. They have really no margin of error left for the rest of the season, and you're seeing it in their performance. Like you said, the fast break offense, this fast-paced offense, they know they have nothing to lose. They're putting it all out there, and it's resulted in a fairly explosive Bowling Green offense in this first 20 minutes of action. And something else you notice is I really can only remember the one Toledo run, the 6-0 Toledo run. Other than that, this Falcons team limited Toledo's offense from being explosive. Sure, they got bailed out by a couple of open three-point misses. Probably won't get much more of that help in the second half. You'd have to imagine Toledo shoots a little better. But for the Falcons, I mean, you had runs there where you committed fouls. You had runs there where you were a little sloppy and you're still leading by 4 at halftime. All in all, that was an extremely good first half by Bowling Green. The question is, can they put it together for a full 40 minutes, which has been a very big struggle for them this season. You had the quote about from Todd Simon pregame. It's been a mountain that they have not been able to climb for much of this season.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, just the key thing from that lineup, that quote from Todd Simon is we got to get things to a possession game, and we've yet to put together a full 40 minutes. We got to see, like you just mentioned, if they can put together a full 40-minute half. We've seen this all season. Consistency has been one of the biggest issues for this team all season. They have a lot of times they'd have a good first half, then a poor second half. They'd have a bad first half, then a good second half, like they did against Kent State. So can they put it together, and can they pull this one off? They only have a 4-point lead headed into the last 20 minutes of this one. Still a lot of game left to be played against a pretty good Toledo Rockets team.
When leading at halftime, Bowling Green is 8-4 this season. They are 22-6 under Todd Simon. For Toledo, when they trail at halftime, they are just 3-9 this season. We have about 3 minutes to go before we begin second half action here at Savage Arena. We will take a break before then. When we come back, we will have the start of second half action between Bowling Green and Toledo right here on Falcon Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
BGSU Baseball's sophomore first baseman Brady Birchmeyer had a stellar opening weekend in an opening 3-game set with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. Birchmeyer's clutch hits late in the Sunday matchup in Murfreesboro included a 3-run home run in the top of the 9th that scored TJ Tackett and DJ Newman and put the Falcons ahead, bringing the game to extra innings after the Blue Raiders scored 1 in the 9th. In the top of the 11th, Birchmeyer came up clutch once again, hitting an RBI single to put the Falcons up 11-9, leading to a 12-9 victory, the second of the Orange and Brown season. The former Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year nominee is hitting .267 on the year with an 800 OPS, building on a 2024 season where he earned 11 RBIs and 2 home runs and 67 at-bats. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Falcon Gymnastics returns to the mat on the road against Temple Friday, February 21st at 6 p.m. Check out Falcon Media Sports Network's Sam Morris's recap of the match on bgfalconmedia.com.
(41-37) Bowling Green's lead, as we're about 30 seconds away from getting underway with second half action. 20 minutes left to go here in the second edition of this year's Battle of I-75, the 184th all-time meeting between these two teams. If Toledo were to pull off a win against the Falcons here, Artie, it would mark their 100th win against Bowling Green in the all-time series. The Falcons, though, trying to snap a fairly decent overall losing skid when you look at the grand scheme of things, trying to tilt some success back on their side in this series after losing 6 of the past 7 games against the Rockets.
Last victory here at Savage was February 13th, 2021. So pretty much 4 years ago, which is crazy to think about. 4 years ago was the last time they won here. And you're trying to delay that 100th victory just a little bit longer, just for pride.
You can make some arguments about James A. Rhodes Arena in Akron. You can make arguments about the Convocation Center in Ohio. But for my money, this is one of, if not the toughest place to play in the MAC right here at Savage Arena. The highest average attendance in the MAC. And we are back underway. Sonny Wilson with the ball for Toledo. Rockets going right to left across your radio dial. Bowling Green going left to right. Notably, they will be shooting into the Toledo student section this half. And Isaiah Adams gets second half action underway with a layup inside there. 41-39. BG leads now.
That's Isaiah Adams' first points of the day with 2 on that layup.
Jemai Felt inside! Jemai Felt puts Isaiah Adams on a poster. Two-handed slam with emphasis by Felt. Missed shot there inside by the Rockets. Marcus Johnson going to take it the other way. Johnson trying to get a pass to Felt inside, knocked away, taken by Bryce Ford. Ford kicks it to Sonny Wilson, working around Dejon Humphrey. Gets the contact from Humphrey. There'll be a foul assigned to number 3. Sonny Wilson will go to the line.
Yeah, I don't know if that jump was just a little too early by Dejon Humphrey or if Sonny Wilson just timed the jump exactly so he could draw the foul there against Humphrey. And he's going to head to the line now.
Wilson on the day. Has not taken a free throw. Hits the first on the season. Sonny Wilson only 65.3% from the line. the past 2 games, he's just 2 for 5 from the charity stripe.
It's a pretty surprisingly low number for a guy that shoots 53.5% from the field and 40.8% from 3.
No problem there. He hits both. It is definitely a very interesting split there for Wilson. What is Jemai Felt doing on that play? Trying to break a little bit of a press by Toledo. Felt was trying to pass it. They were still in the backcourt. Felt was trying to pass it under the opponent's hoop to Marcus Johnson where he was. He overshot Johnson, threw it out of bounds. Bowling Green does not pass the timeline. Toledo takes over possession.
Yeah, that's just kind of embarrassing. I don't even know if that's a terrible play. Oh, my God.
And then Isaiah Adams on the other side doesn't make Bowling Green pay for it. Airballs a 3-pointer. Felt's going to have to shake that one off. That was a just confusing mental error. You do still have to remember Jemai Felt in his first season of collegiate basketball. He is a junior academically, but a redshirt freshman athletically. And Javonte Campbell loses the ball there. Toledo takes it away. Campbell trying to work inside. It's Sam Lewis with it. Kicks it to the left to Bryce Ford. Now to Javen Simmons inside. He dishes outside to Isaiah Adams, who misses a 3-pointer off front iron. Javonte Campbell going to push the action the other way. Campbell working inside. Spin move trying to get inside of Bryce Ford. Puts the floater over Ford. Nothing but net on the floater for Campbell. 45-41. Bowling Green leads. 2 minutes down in the second half.
Campbell had 26 last time out against Kent State. He's got 8 today, coming off the bench here.
Sam Lewis inside to Javen Simmons. Spin move around Jemai Felt, but Felt gets the deflection. Javonte Campbell taking it for Bowling Green. Gives it to Derek Butler. Transition 3, just short off front iron. Rebounded by Toledo's Bryce Ford. Both teams a little slow offensively here past few minutes out of halftime. But Sam Lewis takes the contact. Floater off the glass is good. 45-43, Bowling Green's lead down to 2, 17.5 to play.
18 points now for Sam Lewis.
Tying Derek Butler for the game lead. Contact there by Javen Simmons and Sonny Wilson on Javonte Campbell. We'll see who they assign the foul to.
Javen Simmons is going to get assigned to the foul.
It will be. That was big because Sonny Wilson already has 2. So Sonny Wilson avoids his 3rd there. Javen Simmons picks up his 1st. Derek Butler will inbound for Bowling Green. Butler, Johnson, Campbell, Felt, Humphrey on the court for BG. For Toledo, it's Simmons, Lewis, Ford, Wilson, Adams. Johnson with it, gives it to Derek Butler. He thought about a deep 3-pointer. Backs to the midcourt logo. Still top of the key, double teamed, almost falls to the ground, keeps it alive, Harlem Globetrotter style, dribbling while on the ground. Javonte Campbell takes a sidestep 3 with the buzzer time expiring. Buzzer sounding, airballs it, shot clock violation, another turnover for Bowling Green.
Yeah, Campbell, not much of an outside shooter. He's more of an inside guy.
Especially with that injury on that right hand.
Definitely not, especially like you mentioned with the cast. That has gone down quite a bit, however rare it was beforehand, but there's not much you could do there with the shot clock winding down like that. You just have to kind of take what you're given.
Sonny Wilson driving inside, kicks it up to Isaiah Adams. Adams left wide open, makes Bowling Green pay. You cannot leave Isaiah Adams that wide open. He will make you pay, did just that. Toledo takes a 1-point advantage, 46-45. Missed communication by the Bowling Green defense. Javonte Campbell on the other side drives inside, gets the layup to go. Bowling Green back out ahead, 47-46. Javonte Campbell in double digits, up to 10 points.
Yeah, so he's going to be the second Falcon now in double digits, joining his teammate Derek Butler, of course, the aforementioned 18 points he has in this one.
Javen Simmons inside, working over Jemai Felt. Layup is good. Physical layup for Javen Simmons. Toledo back out ahead, 48-47. Seesaw lead right now between these two teams.
Definitely. Toledo building a lot of momentum to kick off this second half. They've scored 11 points compared to BG's 6.
Campbell cross-court pass to Felt, now up top to Johnson. Johnson trying to get a bounce pass into Felt. Overshoots in front of him. Felt goes diving on the ground trying to save it. Can't save it. Goes out of bounds. Yet another turnover for Bowling Green, and Toledo will take possession when we come back, but we do have a media timeout before that. Toledo just ahead of Bowling Green, 48-47, 15:48 to play in this one. You're listening to BGSU Men's Basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
The Western Scrub Jay. I was taking my science class on a virtual reality bird watching expedition. All of a sudden, Charlie Kane shouts, "Arr! Arr!" He had spotted the elusive black swift, a bird rarely seen in the wild. For a brief moment, Charlie had not the eyes of a 9-year-old boy. He had the eyes of an eagle.
Teachers just have better work stories. Find out how creative teaching can be at teachdfw.org. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
BGSU Baseball's sophomore first baseman Brady Birchmeyer had a stellar opening weekend in an opening 3-game set with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. Birchmeyer's clutch hits late in the Sunday matchup in Murfreesboro included a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth that scored TJ Tackett and DJ Newman and put the Falcons ahead, bringing the game to extra innings after the Blue Raiders scored 1 in the ninth. In the top of the 11th, Birchmeyer came up clutch once again, hitting an RBI single to put the Falcons up 11-9, leading to a 12-9 victory, the second of the orange and brown season. The former Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year nominee is hitting .267 on the year with an 800 OPS, building on a 2024 season where he earned 11 RBIs and 2 home runs and 67 at-bats. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Both teams still in their respective huddles. Toledo leading Bowling Green 48-47 with 15:48 to play in the second half. Tyler Kablitz alongside Artie Abrego from Falcon Media Sports Network here with you at Savage Arena. Make sure to go over and check out bgfalconmedia.com. That is where Falcon Media Sports Network will post all of our content along with the other branches of BG Falcon Media. That is the place to see all of our content, stories, previews, recaps, anything that you can imagine will be over at bgfalconmedia.com. You can also listen to our broadcast on our 2 sister stations, Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM over on that website. But Artie, Toledo has come out as the stronger team out of the halftime here, now taking a 1-point advantage. They've looked like the team with more energy out of the locker room.
Definitely an 11-point start to kick off the second half for Toledo compared to BG's 6 points. They're shooting 50% from the field, and they've hit 2 free throws as well as compared to Bowling Green. They've only taken 3 shots so far. They're 0 for 2 from 3. So not really the strongest, not really the kickstart you want out of Bowling Green, who we've said that Todd Simon, he wants them to play a full 40 minutes of a game. Not really the start you want to see when you kick off the second half, especially when you're trying to stay alive in this conference and trying to beat your rival.
Some substitutions for both teams. Bryce Ford, Sam Lewis out for Toledo. Seth Hubbard, Andre Lorenzen in. For Bowling Green, Jemai Felt checks out. Wilkins Jr. Exact checks in. Here's an air ball by Sonny Wilson. Rebounded by Dejon Humphrey. Humphrey earlier in the game in the first half, passing 1,000 career collegiate points. Hands it off to Marcus Johnson. His three-pointer just short off front iron. Sonny Wilson takes it the other way off the rebound. Wilson guarded by Javante Campbell. Gets Campbell and Exact both the jump. Cannot get the layup to go. Rebounded by Wilkins Jr. Exact. And are we going to have another foul on Sonny Wilson here, it appears? 3rd personal foul on Sonny Wilson.
It's like his hand just went right up into the face of Wilkins Jr. Exact. Exact was grabbing at his face, looked to be in a little bit of pain.
We'll see if Bowling Green continues to attack Wilson. Well, they won't have the chance here, as now we have a substitution. Todd Kowalczyk substituting Sonny Wilson out of the game for Bryce Ford. So Ford doesn't get much time on that bench before he's gone back into action.
Wilson, I mean, 11 points. He's pretty much been the secondary scorer for this team all season with 50.5 points. So if they lose him, that's big.
Exact hands it off to Butler. Butler double teamed down low by Lewis and Lorenzen. Kicks it out to Campbell. Campbell driving inside on Seth Hubbard. Kicks it out to Dejon Humphrey. He drives into the paint. His layup no good. Tip in by Marcus Johnson, not good. Johnson goes hard to the ground after attempting another tip in. I believe we're going to get a foul here on Javen Simmons.
It'll be Javen Simmons' 2nd personal foul if it does go against him.
They are going to call on a Javen Simmons.
Bowling Green's going to score for 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Interesting to see if they're going to call this. You'd have to imagine this is a shooting foul. It looked like
it will be a shooting foul.
It will
Johnson going to the line now.
Yeah, he was going up for a putback layup, so he'll get 2 attempts. Makes the first. Marcus Johnson has been on a tremendous run at the free throw line after making that one. 29 straight free throw makes for Johnson. He's made 36 of his past 37 attempts. Johnson hits both from the line. 30 straight free throw makes for Marcus Johnson. He leads the MAC with a 90.8% free throw percentage. That is 12th best in the entire country. Andre Lorenzen launches a three-pointer on the other end. No good. Rebounded by Dejon Humphrey. Humphrey brings it past the midcourt logo, gives it off to Exact. Exact a jab step back to Humphrey. Now over to Marcus Johnson, far side wing. Johnson driving in on Lorenzen, shoves Lorenzen to the ground, gets the layup to go. It's going to be waved off. Offensive foul on Marcus Johnson.
Todd Simon absolutely livid. The Bowling Green bench in shock.
With that wiped off the board, instead of a three-point advantage, Bowling Green still just clinging on to a 1-point lead, 49-48, with 14:20 to play. That's the 4th turnover of the game from Marcus Johnson, just his first personal foul. On the other end, Javen Simmons driving it on Johnson. Wilkins Jr. Exact comes from behind and rejects him.
Just an insane rejection. He got some height on that one too to just smack that one down. It looked like a sort of looked like a volleyball spike in a way with the form from Exact there. Lorenzen gonna get the ball here on the inbound, but there's gonna be a whistle. Javante Campbell is gonna be assigned the foul here. That'll be his 2nd personal foul. So there's gonna be another inbound now.
Bowling Green with 10 fouls here today, Artie. Toledo with 8. The Falcons up to 11 turnovers. Toledo has not committed one in the second half, still staying at 5. Sam Lewis thought about a step back 3. Does not take it, passes it off to Lorenzen. Now to Seth Hubbard. Hubbard driving to his right, guarded by Campbell. Campbell almost falls to the ground, slips and falls, but recovers on defense. Hubbard misses the mid-range jumper. Looks like he rushed it a little bit. Dejon Humphrey secures his 4th rebound of the game.
Got to nail a 3 there in transition as well.
Dejon Humphrey turning some rebounding there into some transition offense. Dejon Humphrey up to 8 points here today after that three-pointer. Sam Lewis with it, left wing, past the three-point arc for Toledo. Gets a screen by Simmons, now takes a three-pointer. That one way short, did not even hit rim, air ball. Marcus Johnson gets it, passes it up court to Campbell. Now outside to Butler. Butler takes a 3, can't connect. Exact fights for the rebound, but can't corral it. Bryce Ford takes it. Ford gonna take a deep three-pointer. Ford can't hit it. Bounced up in the air a few times before Derek Butler comes flying in to corral the rebound. And he's gonna be fouled. No, he's gonna step out of bounds. Are they gonna get an offensive foul here?
I think they're gonna
get
say
an
you
offensive
got
foul.
They're saying Derek Butler shoved.
They are. They're gonna call an offensive foul on Derek Butler. And Tom and Bryce Martin gonna have to come out and try to bring Todd Simon back. Bryce Martin is livid on the Bowling Green bench of these officials. The official came over pointing at the Bowling Green coaches. Bryce Martin and Tom were originally holding back Simon. Martin went back. Martin came charging back out to yell at the officials.
Yeah, I don't ever think I've seen Bryce Martin that angry before,
That
Tyler.
is the most mad I have ever seen Bryce Martin. Missed three-pointer by Lorenzen. Transition offense here for Bowling Green. Dejon Humphrey bounced past to Campbell. Falcons get 2 points in transition. They extend their lead 54-48. 12.5 minutes to play.
Great job in transition. Great layup for Javante Campbell, who's now got 12 points on his day.
Sonny Wilson wide open on the other end, under the rim, gets the layup to go. 54-40, BG leads.
Javante Campbell with the ball now, bringing it up against the court against Hubbard. pass to Marcus Johnson.
Johnson with it, guarded by newly checked in Gerger Burchick. Three-pointer, no good. Skying for the rebound is Sonny Wilson.
First time we've seen Burchick today.
Burchick gets Javante Campbell to fly by and miss, and slams it home with two hands. This gets the fans on their feet. Toledo back within two. Bowling Green still ahead though, 54-52. Javante Campbell inside, left-handed layup goes. Quick answer by Campbell. He's up to 14 points today. 3 scores in double digits for the Falcons in Butler, Johnson, and Campbell.
Campbell had a 20-point game against Toledo and 26-point game against Kent State. Now he's got 14 today, so 6 away from another 20-point outing for Javante Campbell.
Wide open three-pointer by Seth Hubbard. He can't connect. Hubbard has struggled from deep this season, shooting just 14 for 73 from beyond the arc coming into the game. Javante Campbell passes it away, trying to get a bounce pass to Braylon Green inside, picked off by Andre Lorenzen. Sonny Wilson with it, guarded by Campbell. He drops it off here to Isaiah Adams. Back inside to Wilson. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded by Wilkins Jr. Exact. That is going to be Exact's 6th rebound of the game.
That ties on Humphrey, his teammate, for most rebounds, so both of them have 6 now.
Bryce Ford, the 6'3" guard, leads all players with 8 rebounds. Javante Campbell with it, splitting 2 Toledo defenders, working inside, taking contact, layups off the mark. Toledo takes it the other way with Isaiah Adams, passing it up court to Sonny Wilson. Now to a wide open Seth Hubbard. Hubbard connects.
Hubbard going to end those 3-point struggles right there and then with that 3-point shot. Now a 1-point Bowling Green lead, just barely hanging on.
56-55, 10 minutes to play here in this one at Savage Arena, halfway through the second half. Marcus Johnson backing out his defender, double teamed, puts up a floater behind the backboard, does not go. Wilkins Jr. Exact tries to save it. Bounce pass in between his legs, jumping, but it goes to no one but the Bowling Green bench. It'll be Toledo ball when we come back after this media timeout. 9:53 to play. Bowling Green holding on to a slight advantage over the Rockets, 56-55. You're listening to BGSU Men's Basketball here on Falcon Radio.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Falcon Baseball finishes their South Carolina tour against USC Upstate on Sunday, February 23rd at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz will have a recap of the matchup on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bowling Green with a slight advantage over Toledo, 56-55 here at Savage Arena in Toledo, Ohio. 9:53 to play in the second half of this contest. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Artie Abrego for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Make sure to check out BG Falcon Media Sports Network's Twitter X account, BG_FMSN on Twitter X. There you can see all of our updates of our stories and our content. And we also have live updates of most of our BG sporting events, especially those home events. We will have live updates over there. So check all that content out over on Twitter X at BG_FMSN. Artie, it was Toledo that came out strong out of halftime. Bowling Green's battled back, but Toledo back on a 5-0 run over the past 2 minutes. Pretty well timed media timeout there for the Falcons to, gather themselves and get back into this one.
Definitely. I feel like this is a good breather for them after they've been running back and forth for multiple minutes now. They got, so right now Toledo's on a 6-0 run. They've been scoreless for almost 2 minutes for BG. But one thing I will say, Toledo not having the best shooting second half. They're shooting 7 for 22. So this is, even though they're on a run, this is very doable for Bowling Green to snap this streak for them and regain a larger lead.
Definitely is. Andre Lorenzen with it for Toledo. Passes it inside to Simmons. Simmons working on Felt. Gets Felt to jump. Simmons goes to the ground with Felt. That's going to be a foul on Jemai Felt. That'll be Felt's third.
Yeah, not really want to see from something where Jemai Felt. You're trying to maximize his minutes, keep him as long out there as you possibly can. He's been your primary rebounder all season long and shot blocker. So any personal foul he picks up against right now is trouble. I think Javon Simmons sold it just a tad, just make sure he got the call.
Jemai Felt, Derek Butler for Bowling Green, and Sonny Wilson for Toledo, all with 3 personal fouls. For Toledo, Sam Lewis hits the mid-range jumper. Toledo takes the lead 57-56, approaching 9 minutes to play. This one's going to come down to the wire, it appears, here at Savage Arena. Dejon Humphrey, three-pointer from the wing for Bowling Green. Rattles out off back iron. Sam Lewis takes it the other way.
Almost 3 minutes with no points for Bowling Green.
Lewis gives it off to Wilson. Now to the corner to Isaiah Adams. Adams spinning around Derek Butler. Butler gets back in front of him, baseline. Now he kicks it out to Sam Lewis. Sam Lewis working on Dejon Humphrey. Gets past Humphrey and Felt. Can't finish the layup, though. It's going to be rebounded by Exact, but Exact's going to fall to the ground with it, and they're going to call a travel on Wilkins Jr. Exact.
I don't understand that call. It looked like to me he grabbed the rebound and was setting his feet, and then they immediately called a travel. So maybe I saw something that they didn't, Tyler, but
we don't have the best view.
We don't have the best view.
Up in the corner, so he may have shuffled his feet going to the ground.
Maybe he did. So maybe I'm the wrong one, but I don't know if that should have been called.
They had a better view than we did. Javen Simmons inside loses the ball. He was surrounded by 3 Falcons defenders, Humphrey, Campbell, and Felt, but it will stay Toledo ball.
3 minutes, 15 seconds. That's how long BG has been without a bucket now.
Sam Lewis with it off the pass from Lorenzen. Lewis, top of the key, just inside the three-point arc. Now gives it off to Lorenzen. Lorenzen over to Sonny Wilson. He puts up a three-pointer with 2 on the shot clock. Does not go. Tipped around by Exact, rebounded by Campbell. He will take it the other way. Javante Campbell gives it off to Derek Butler, the midcourt logo. Back to Campbell on the right wing. Working inside the painted area. Campbell spins a couple times, kicks it back out to Butler. 15 on the shot clock for Bowling Green. Derek Butler gives it off to Campbell. He thought about a three-pointer. Campbell is going to take a three-pointer. Javante Campbell hits the three-pointer. Rare three-point make since that hand injury for Javante Campbell. Puts Bowling Green back ahead 59-57.
17 points now for Javante Campbell. Only needs one hand to make that shot.
Sonny Wilson with the ball. Gives it back top to Isaiah Adams. Adams works around the screen, gives it off to Javen Simmons. Simmons inside off the pick and roll, puts the layup up, does not go. He is fouled, though, by Jemai Felt, and that's going to be Felt's 4th personal foul now, Artie. Todd Simon's going to have a big decision to make here.
Absolutely. That is your worst case scenario at this point in the game, especially when you have guys like Javon Simmons and Isaiah Adams playing for Toledo. That's one of the worst things, and that's going to be a really tough decision for Todd Simon now with only 7:24 left to play in this one.
We will head to another media timeout, 7:24 to play here at Savage Arena. Bowling Green clinging on to a slight advantage, 59-57. Simmons will have free throws when we come back. You are listening to BGSU Men's Basketball here on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball's sophomore first baseman Brady Birchmeyer had a stellar opening weekend in an opening 3-game set with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. Birchmeyer's clutch hits late in the Sunday matchup in Murfreesboro included a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth that scored TJ Tackett and DJ Newman and put the Falcons ahead, bringing the game to extra innings after the Blue Raiders scored 1 in the ninth. In the top of the 11th, Birchmeyer came up clutch once again, hitting an RBI single to put the Falcons up 11-9, leading to a 12-9 victory, the second of the orange and brown season. The former Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year nominee is hitting .267 on the year with an 800 OPS, building on a 2024 season where he earned 11 RBIs and 2 home runs and 67 at-bats. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Back here at Savage Arena, Bowling Green leading Toledo 59-57. They have led for over 80% of this contest, looking to exact revenge from their loss, double-digit loss to the Rockets earlier this season at the Stroh Center. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network on hand in Toledo for this one. Artie, this has been a good, eventful, back-and-forth basketball game all the way.
Definitely. It's been an entertaining one, no matter which side you've been on. Multiple lead changes. Really competitive teams. Two teams that do not like each other one bit. There's nothing better than a rivalry game like this, especially in front of a packed crowd here at the Savage Arena.
The best part about this rivalry right now is you have two coaches in Todd Kowalczyk and Todd Simon who understand and respect this rivalry. They put a lot of passion into this game, and they continue to make this rivalry as great as it is. Simmons hits both at the line before we went to break. Jemai Felt picked up his 4th personal foul. He has been checked out of the game for Marcus Johnson. We'll see when he comes back into this one. Just one foul away from fouling out. That could be a huge difference maker for Bowling Green, as the tallest player in the court now is just Marcus Johnson at 6'7", matching Javen Simmons, but you would love to have Jemai Felt out there for the size advantage down low. Johnson double team down low, kicks out Javonte Campbell. He goes for another triple, just misses it. Sam Lewis with it in transition, gives it to Isaiah Adams. Adams guarded tightly by Javonte Campbell. Campbell with 1 steal here today. Campbell pokes it out. They both go to the ground. It's going to be a reach-in foul by Javonte Campbell on Isaiah Adams.
Yeah, looks like he just slapped the forearm there when he was going for the ball. Unfortunate, just an unfortunate mishap for Javonte Campbell.
Isaiah Adams will go to the line. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Isaiah Adams. Adams just at 5 points today, has not attempted a free throw. Makes the first, he'll get a second attempt. Isaiah Adams, a good free throw shooter, 3rd best on the Rockets team, 84.1% from the line. Adams has been on a tear recently, averaging over 15 points a game while shooting 55.6% from three-point land over the past 4 contests. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. Dejon Humphrey secures the rebound. That is rebound number 7 for Dejon Humphrey. Tied with Wilkins Jr. exact for the Bowling Green lead.
We have a double-double watch there with 8 points and 7 rebounds.
Javonte Campbell drives inside, creates space for himself. A wide-open layup. Javonte Campbell puts Bowling Green back on top, 61-60. Under 6.5 minutes to play at Savage Arena.
He now leads the team in scoring with 19 points now, passing Derek Butler's 18 points.
Javonte Campbell last time out had 26. He has back-to-back 20-point performances, trying to make it 3 in a row. Simmons working down low on Derek Butler, puts up a shot, does not go. Rebounded by Marcus Johnson. He gives it to Butler in transition. Butler driving inside, kicks it out to Exact. Exact to Campbell, to Humphrey. That one blocked from behind, and Humphrey went and held immediately. Looks like his left calf Achilles area. He appears to be okay. He is walking pretty tentatively. That was a block by Isaiah Adams from behind.
I think it was Javon Simmons, actually, but it's going to be credited to Isaiah Adams. That was just Isaiah Adams would just move so quick. I almost missed.
They are going to change it. It is Javen Simmons. You were correct there. That'll be Javen Simmons' first block.
Made me doubt myself for no reason at all, Tyler.
I was
thought I was seeing
looking.
things.
Dejon Humphreys still walking around a little uncomfortably on that left leg. He's trying to. He has a little bit of a limp on that. That's something to keep an eye on. Marcus Johnson.
It's noticeable. It's very noticeable.
Marcus Johnson working inside, fouled by Isaiah Adams on the reach-in. Humphrey's going to stay in the game for now, Artie.
You can just tell he looks just a little bit uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, he's just kicking that left leg out a little bit. Still moving on it. Still appears to be fine. Inbound to Exact. Contact. Could not get the layup to go. Gets his own rebound. Floater does not go. 0 for 2 on that possession from the field for Exact. Sonny Wilson with it. Gives it to Isaiah Adams just inside the three-point arc. Moving to his right. Now retreats back past the three-point line. Thought about a step back. Drives inside. Spin move on Johnson. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded by Butler. Dejon Humphrey trailing behind the pack just a little bit. Still looking a little uncomfortable on that leg.
Something to watch as we move throughout this rest of the game.
Derek Butler kicks it out to Exact. Exact still with it. 5 minutes to play here at Savage Arena. Exact jumper inside the painted area goes. Bowling Green back out to a three-point lead, 63-60. Under 5 minutes to play here in Toledo. Hard-fought game this entire way by Bowling Green. Three-pointer rattles out there for the Rockets. Bowling Green this season, when leading with 5 minutes remaining, are 9-1 this season, 25-1 in the Todd Simon era.
Toledo been scoreless for the past 2 minutes and 10 seconds now.
Meanwhile, Toledo, when trailing with 5 minutes remaining, they are 2-10 this season. Derek Butler works his way inside, gets a layup to go. Bowling Green out to a 5-point advantage, 65-60. Timeout called by Toledo.
What a good run for Bowling Green. They're on a 6-0 run in the past 2 minutes, 31 seconds. And guess who's been scoreless the past 2 minutes, 31 seconds? The Rockets. No points. And Bowling Green has really stepped it up in the past couple of minutes.
That defense tightening up for Bowling Green. It'll be a 30-second timeout for Toledo here, so we'll stay with you through it. 65-60 already. Bowling Green out to a 5-point advantage now. Derek Butler up to 20 points. Sam Lewis also has 24 Toledo, but it's the supporting cast starting to step up for Bowling Green. Javante Campbell with 19 points off the bench, his first appearance off the bench this season. And Marcus Johnson also has 10 points.
Yeah, a good job. They're really spreading the route here today for Bowling Green, primarily playing through guys like Campbell and Butler in the absence of Trey Thomas. They're going with a little bit of a faster-paced offense here today. A good step up by guys like Exact, who's got 9 rebounds and 3 assists. And then also Dejon Humphrey with 8 points and 7 rebounds. So a really good job by Bowling Green today to really just adapt to the circumstances. You're obviously now playing about a 7-man lineup here today with the injury to Trey Thomas. And they've done a good job conserving energy, really playing hard together as a team, and really trying to grind this one out against their rival Rockets.
It would be a huge win for Bowling Green if they could make it happen. And once again, I'll go through those numbers that I just said on the air a few seconds ago. We are under 5 minutes remaining now. Bowling Green with the lead. When leading with 5 minutes remaining, Artie, 9-1 this season, 25-1 in the Todd Simon era. And Toledo is just 2-10 this season when trailing with 5 minutes remaining. If the Falcons can take a lead into under 2 minutes, they are 9-0 this season and 27-0 under Todd Simon when leading at the 2-minute remaining mark. That is the key for this Bowling Green team right now, this next 2-minute stretch. If they can continue to stay ahead and maintain this lead for 2 more minutes, the statistics say that Bowling Green has a high chance of winning this game if they can take the lead with 2 minutes remaining.
You just got to stay ahead. You just got to keep pushing.
That's the name of the game.
You just can't be complacent. You have to play as good as you were in the first couple minutes of the first half and the later half of the second half. You just got to keep pushing, keep grinding, and keep building this lead up against the Rockets.
Sonny Wilson with it, top of the key for Toledo. Driving inside, past Javante Campbell, meets Marcus Johnson, retreats out to the three-point line. Gives it off to Sam Lewis, 5 on the shot clock, launched a deep triple, does not go. Rebounded by Simmons on the offensive boards, puts up a putback shot, does not go, but he draws the foul from Wilkins Jr. exact.
Yeah, Wilkins Jr. Gonna say I believe they're gonna say he shoved him.
And that's gonna bring us to our final media timeout, scheduled media timeout of the contest. 3:50 remaining. Bowling Green still holding that 5-point advantage over the Toledo Rockets, 65-60. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
Hey BGSU students, this is your opportunity to host your very own radio show or podcast. Get involved with Falcon Radio and quickly learn the skills you need to produce your own program. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be armed with the information you need to operate studio equipment, put on your own live shows, or recorded content. Students from all disciplines are encouraged to get involved and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use world-class facilities to create your own podcast. Falcon Radio, for Falcons, by Falcons.
BGSU baseball heads back on the road, taking on USC Upstate in South Carolina on Friday, February 21st at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Tyler Kablitz and Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network back here at Savage Arena, 65-60. Bowling Green leads Toledo with 3:50 remaining in the contest. Bowling Green has led for about 30 minutes of this contest, 29 minutes, 45 seconds. Toledo has led for under 5 minutes. There have been 5 ties in the game. For the most part, this has been Bowling Green ahead. And right now, Artie, it is Bowling Green's game to lose, up by 5 with 3:50 to go. But granted, 3 minutes, 50 seconds is a long time in basketball, especially college basketball.
Oh, definitely. There's still a lot of time left to play. You don't really know what's going to happen. Like we mentioned, this is a rivalry game. It feels like anything can go down during a rivalry game. There's just so much intensity here in these final minutes. My heart's beating, my blood's pumping. I'm ready to see how this one wraps up.
That's why you can never rule anybody out in a rivalry game. You never know what happens in these types of matchups. They can be so unpredictable, and today we've had a classic between these two teams, a back and forth duel. Javen Simmons at the line for 2. He hits the first. He was fouled by Wilkins Jr. Exact before we went to break. Exact's first personal. Braylon Green checking out for Bowling Green. Dejon Humphrey back into the game. Simmons hits both at the line. Toledo back within 3, 65-62. Marcus Johnson forced to call a timeout. Not happy with that. Slams the ball between his hands. The press executed perfectly there by Toledo. Bowling Green Falcon cannot get loose for Johnson, arguably the best passer on this team, to get a pass off to them. And Bowling Green has to use a very important timeout.
Yeah, not really something you want to do, especially when you got to conserve them. They still got one 30-second timeout and one full timeout left, so 2 timeouts remain for Bowling Green, but you really want to conserve them.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, something to keep an eye on. Each team with a 30-second and a full timeout remaining. Marcus Johnson will attempt to inbound it once again. He will. He'll get it to Derek Butler. Butler going to give it back to Johnson. Bowling Green still needs to pass the timeline. They do with Butler. A pass back from Johnson. Back to Johnson. Marcus Johnson, Derek Butler playing a game of catch. They give it off to Wilkins Jr. exact. Now Javante Campbell on the near side wing. Bowling Green's going to want to drain this clock down, but they need to finish the possession with the score.
Definitely. You just got to break down the clock, but you still have to hit a shot like you just mentioned.
4 on the shot clock. Campbell working inside, rejected by Isaiah Adams. Gets a roar from the crowd before they realize a whistle was called, and it's going to be a foul on Isaiah Adams, his second personal, and that will send Javante Campbell to the line for 2 free throws.
His first trip to the line today for Campbell.
Javante Campbell with 19 points here today. Looking for a third straight 20-point performance. Gets it with that, nails the first from the line, his first free throw attempt of the day. Javante Campbell, Artie, he leads the Mid-American Conference with now 120 free throws made this season.
Pretty impressive numbers from that line.
3 scores with 20 points here today. Derek Butler, Javante Campbell at 20, along with Sam Lewis. Javante Campbell takes the lead in points for the game with 21. Bowling Green back ahead by 5, 67-62, 3:20 and counting remaining in the contest. Knocked away by Campbell on the other side. Sonny Wilson gets it back off the pass that was blocked. Now it's in the hands of Sam Lewis. He's guarded heavily by Campbell. Campbell wreaking havoc on defense right now. Bryce Ford takes over possession for Toledo. He's double teamed by Johnson and Humphrey. And I believe we're going to get a foul on Dejon Humphrey.
We are going to get a foul on Dejon Humphrey.
That'll be Dejon Humphrey's third personal foul of the game.
It's going to send Ford to the line as well. Toledo in the bonus now.
2 shots at the line for Bryce Ford. Gets the first to go. Bryce Ford on the day. That's his first point. He was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from deep. Hits both free throws. He's up to 2 points. Toledo's back within 3, 67-64. Under 3 minutes to play at Savage Arena.
You feel the intensity in the air here at the Savage Arena with 2:47 left to play.
Javante Campbell with the ball, drained down the clock to 10 seconds. Picks up his dribble, now gives it off to Derek Butler. Butler back to Campbell. Wide open for a three-pointer from the corner in front of the Bowling Green bench. Rattles out. Bryce Ford going to take it quick to the other end of the court. 2.5 to play. Adams with it, gives it to Ford. Wide open three-pointer from the wing. Bryce Ford hits it. We have a tie game, 67 all.
Bryce Ford, he shoots 40.5% from 3. You can't leave him open like that, and he made Bowling Green pay right there to tie this one up at 67-67.
This possession is huge for Bowling Green. We are approaching 2 minutes to play. When leading with 2 minutes remaining, Bowling Green's 9-0 this season. When tied with 2 minutes remaining, they are 0-3. We are past that 2-minute mark. Javante Campbell layup rejected by Simmons. No foul called. Sonny Wilson going to take it the other way for Toledo. Wilson working inside, knocks down Dejon Humphrey, gets the layup to go. They're going to call a charging foul on Sonny Wilson. It'll be Bowling Green ball tied at 67 with 1:47 remaining. Huge call there.
John Humphrey with this sacrificing his body for the greater good. He's going to draw the foul there and just at exactly the right time.
So we talked about that leading with 2 minute remaining record. 9-0, 27-0 under Todd Simon. They were tied with 2 minutes remaining, Artie. 0-3 under Todd Simon when tied with 2 minutes remaining.
There's no better time to break that than right now.
Javante Campbell with it. Gives it off to Derek Butler. 90 seconds to play at Savage Arena. Humphrey passes it to Marcus Johnson. Too far. Went off the fingertips of Johnson. Out of bounds. It'll be Toledo ball with 1:23.
Yeah, that just can't happen at this point in the game. That's just very unfortunate miscommunication there. It's too out of reach. That can't happen when there's 1 minute, 24 seconds left, and you only have so many possessions, and you're tied, and you haven't scored in 2 minutes.
Sonny Wilson with the ball for Toledo. This is a huge possession for the Rockets. Down to 1:10 on the clock. Wilson works inside. Gives it to Simmons. He lowers the shoulder. plows into Dejon Humphrey. It's going to be called a blocking foul on Humphrey, and Simmons fell back down onto Humphrey. Humphrey's on the ground.
Whoa.
I don't know if we have a technical or something called here. Officials are talking. Simmons plowed into Humphrey with the shoulder.
He led
Humphrey
elbow
went
first.
to the ground. Simmons then fell onto Humphrey, and Humphrey took a second to get up. We are going to have this foul under review.
He looks like he led, I don't want to speculate, but to me, it looked like he led elbow first when he went on that fall towards the face of Humphrey.
I'm hoping we'll get a review here on the newly renovated big screen here at Savage Arena.
It looks very nice. I will give him that.
We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we will have, hopefully, the result of that review. You're listening to BGSU men's basketball, all tied up between Bowling Green 67 and Toledo 67 here on Falcon Radio.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Still under review here at Savage Arena. This is going to be a huge, monumental call in this game, Artie.
Definitely, it could. So they're looking at whether Javon Simmons, what happened after the play, I would have to assume, if they're going to assign.
So, apparently they had called it a foul on the court after the officials discussed on Javon Simmons. That call will stand. They ruled that Dejon Humphrey was outside of the restricted area. Therefore, it was a legal charge there, and it was not a blocking foul. So Bowling Green has the ball. 60 seconds to play at Savage Arena, all tied up at 67 apiece. Javonte Campbell with the ball. Gives it off to Derek Butler. Butler still with it, 8 on the shot clock, down to 7, takes a three-pointer, rattles out, rebounded by Toledo. Bryce Ford corrals it, gives it off to Sonny Wilson, 35 to play.
It's going to take all the time they can.
Sonny Wilson with the ball for Toledo. Driving inside, kicks it out to Sam Lewis. Lewis driving inside, gets contact, layup no good, he'll go to the line for 2.
Probably some of the most crucial free throws of the game coming up just now. The shot clock is off now at 21.6. Should mention both teams still have 2 timeouts each.
Toledo is in the bonus plus, 2 free throws for every foul against Toledo. Bowling Green is currently at a 1-1. Toledo has 1 more foul to give before Bowling Green goes an automatic 2 free throws. First one hit at the line by Sam Lewis. Lewis today 3 for 4 from the line now. Lewis is up to 21 points, tied for the game lead with Javonte Campbell. Lewis misses the second at the line.
Shot clock is off.
Shot clock is off. Javonte Campbell with the ball. He's going to call a timeout with 15 seconds remaining. Bowling Green will have the chance for the final shot here, Artie, if they want it. 15 seconds to play. Toledo leads by 1, 68-67. 30-second timeout by Bowling Green. We'll stick with you. Artie, who do you give the ball to if you're Bowling Green here?
Honestly, it's tough because you could either go with Derek Butler on the outside or Javonte Campbell on the inside, or you go to Marcus Johnson, but Marcus Johnson isn't having the best shooting day. So I'm looking at either Derek Butler or Javonte Campbell to wrap this one up here at the Savage Arena. I think either of them are good choices. They've really shown out today. But one thing we should mention still, Toledo still has 2 timeouts.
They do.
So they can still call a timeout if they have enough time left on the clock and call a play. This is still a winnable game for them, depending on how much time Bowling Green loses here. But they are up by 1.
Humphrey, Johnson, Campbell, Butler, Exact on the court for Bowling Green. Dejon Humphrey inbounds. It's Campbell with the ball, driving inside. Layup's no good. Rebounded by Exact. The putback's no good. Johnson fights for it. It's kicked back out to Exact. Inside to Campbell. Campbell puts the layup. It goes with 1.6 seconds remaining. Javante Campbell with the huge shot, possible shot of the year for Bowling Green. They take the lead with 1.6 seconds remaining over Toledo, 69-68.
Campbell, just you said it all, man. Just the play of the year. That was insane. Wilkins Jr. Exact, though, oh my goodness, he just saved the game for Bowling Green possibly. He got the rebound. He got Campbell with the pass. He got everything set up perfectly for Campbell to get underneath the rim and hit that shot to get BG up with a 1-point lead, but there's still 1.6 seconds left on the clock.
There is still 1.6 seconds. That is well enough time.
You can still get a shot off.
To get a shot off, and I didn't see a timeout called here. There was no timeout called by Toledo. I think there's a review. I'm interested to see if Toledo takes a timeout to move it past the timeline, move it to a half-court possession here.
You have to. I mean, like.
What a shot, though. You talked about the effort by Wilkins Jr. Exact, but what a shot inside by Javante Campbell. 23 points for Javante Campbell here today.
One of the clutchest layups I think I've seen here at my time in Bowling Green. Honestly, oh my goodness. It couldn't have come at a better time. Couldn't have come from a better player. One hand, the one-handed bandit, the one-armed man, the winter soldier, whatever you want to call him. He just got it done here today.
1.6 seconds to go. It was a Toledo timeout, seeing that come in now. So they will have the ball halfway across the court. They will have a chance. We'll see if they take a three. We'll see if they take a mid-range. We'll see if they go for a lob tip-in at the rim. They have 1.6 seconds to do something, create a miracle to get a win over Bowling Green. The Falcons just 1.6 seconds away from an improbable victory after the situation that unfolded with Trey Thomas earlier today.
Well, if they are going to go for the alley-oop inbound, you got to bring in Jemai Felt. I think if there's any time he's going to come back in the game, it will be right now.
The biggest thing for Bowling Green is they cannot foul.
They cannot. You cannot foul. You cannot foul.
Toledo gets 2 automatic free throws for a foul. You cannot foul if you are Bowling Green.
Jemai Felt is in the game now. Toledo still has 1 full timeout.
It will not be advanced. Pardon me, they'll go full court with it.
You got to get it off quick.
It'll be Adams inbounding. Adams running baseline.
Looking.
He's going to inbound. It's going to be knocked away by Campbell. It's going to be picked up by Simmons. He drops it. Bowling Green gets the ball with 0.4 seconds to play.
Oh, my goodness.
This one is all but over.
Oh, my God. What a play by Javante Campbell to break up that pass. You saw Dejon Humphrey's reaction, or we saw it, I should say. Just pure joy. Sorry, my heart's beating so fast I can't put the words together.
What a defensive play by Javante Campbell to break up the pass. Once Isaiah Adams picked it up, he fumbled it, dropped it to the ground. There's still 0.4 seconds to go.
You can still theoretically get a shot off if you somehow got the ball back. Somehow, if you're the Flash, but
they're going to need a foul real quick. They're going to review the time here. This is important. The officials are reviewing the time. We will see if there's more added. We will see if there's some taken off. This is going to be huge in terms of how much time there could be remaining after a potential foul by Toledo. Because if there is time added, they could foul Bowling Green quick enough.
They easily could.
You really need 0.4 seconds to get a shot off.
Absolutely.
You cannot have less than 0.4 to get a shot off realistically.
If it's anywhere under a second, things could be over for Toledo here today. If it's realistically, if it's 1.1, you can still foul quickly and still have a chance to get a shot off if you somehow get it up the court. So time here is important. Also possession, if they're looking at that as well, we should mention too. But Javante Campbell would just maybe the play of the year still. 2 of the plays of the year back-to-back with the score and then the breakup.
We have officials still reviewing over at the time scores table.
This is the most important call of the game.
By far, 100% the most important call of the game.
Looks like Marcus Johnson's going to inbound it.
If it stands right now, it would be a side inbound from where the ball went out of bounds. It would be Johnson inbounding. On the court for Bowling Green, Johnson, Green, Campbell, Butler, Humphrey. On the court for Toledo is their starting 5. Simmons, Lewis, Ford, Wilson, and Adams. Officials still looking over. This has to be about the
you
time.
Gotta get it. You got to get it right. I mean, you got to get it right. This could mean the game for either team.
We will have a decision here.
Here it comes.
One second remaining.
There's one. They have to foul.
Toledo needs an instant foul. This game is not over just yet.
An instant foul. Bowling Green has to make both free throws.
Johnson inbounds to Campbell. They do not foul. Bowling Green marches into Savage Arena, exacts revenge on the Toledo Rockets, and gets a much-needed conference victory over their arch rivals, defeating Toledo 69-68. What an improbable win for the Bowling Green Falcons.
Wow, first time in 4 years the Falcons walk into Savage Arena and they get it done here. 69-68 victory over there in the Battle of I-75 against the Toledo Rockets. What a game. Wow.
What a game indeed. 69-68. Bowling Green wins it over Toledo in a classic here at Savage Arena. We will take a break for a few minutes, come back to wrap this one all up. Once again, Bowling Green winners over Toledo 69-68 here at Savage Arena. You're listening to BGSU Men's Basketball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Volleyball's first-year head coach, Alex Del Piombo, has hired 2 assistant coaches to fill out her staff ahead of the 2025 season. Chelsea Carter comes to BG after a 3-season stint as an assistant coach at Alabama. Carter played under Del Piombo at Samford, winning 2 conference championships, a Libero of the Year award, and a conference tournament MVP. Since, she has coached 2 Libero of the Year award winners as well, making Alabama one of the best serving and digging teams in the SEC. Alexa Wharton comes to BG after being a 2-year head coach at Tiffin University. Her winning career includes 3 conference titles as a player and back-to-back conference championships, Final 8 NIVC appearance, and an overall winning record as a coach. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
It's time now to see what's happening around BGSU. Mondays and Wednesdays throughout the semester, it's free yoga as you are at the library. Registration is not required, but attendees should bring their own yoga mat or towel. Also on Monday, it's Let's Talk in the Health and Human Services Room 107. This is a free and confidential service available to all BGSU students. Students can meet for a brief, informal 15-minute consultation with BGSU Counseling Center staff. And coming up on Tuesday, it's Game Nights in the Rad from 6 until 8 p.m. Game Nights in the Rad strive to help students prioritize their well-being and connections. For full list of events, visit events.bgsu.edu. I'm Nate. That's a look at what's happening around BGSU on Falcon Radio.
Hi, I'm Sydney Hernandez, and this is my Falcon 4 Essential Carries. For every day, I like to carry my chapstick, just to keep my lips moisturized. I like to have my phone to stay in contact with friends and family. If I'm at school, have to have my laptop for notes and all my assignments. And I also like to keep a little snack with me at all times, just in case I get hungry throughout the day. Go Falcons!
What a win by Bowling Green here at Savage Arena. Artie, Tyler Kamlitz alongside Artie Abrego from Falcon Media Sports Network. What a win. 69-68 in a classic here at Savage Arena. Bowling Green winners over Toledo. Their first win inside this building since 2021. And this team, we've talked about, they need to make a run at the MAC tournament, and they're running out of time. Boy, does that victory help them in that push.
No kidding. And this is one of the best games I think I've seen in my time here. Just overall, what a fantastic basketball game. A great way to get your season back on start. You're now 5-9 against the MAC. That's a good push towards the MAC tournament in Cleveland, where you want to be. Just what a game today.
Yeah, I mean, I think our player of the game is pretty obvious. Derek Butler had a great start, but it has to be Jamonte Campbell.
Absolutely. How could you not? I mean, he got that game-winning layup underneath the rim with just 1.6 seconds left, and then he broke up the pass, which led to Bowling Green possession from Toledo. So just what a fantastic performance by him today. He is easily the player of the game. He had 4 rebounds as well, 3 assists and a steal, along with a block. Just as perfect as a game you could script, all coming off the bench as well.
Insane. His first appearance off the bench as a Falcon. Like you said, game-high 23 points. We'll wrap this up pretty quick. We have to get down to the press conference. But 20 points for Derek Butler. Marcus Johnson adds in 10 for Toledo. It's Sam Lewis leading with 21. Sonny Wilson has 13. And Javen Simmons has 10. Bryce Ford leads all players with 11 rebounds. Bryce Ford leads the Rockets with 11 rebounds. Wilkins Jr. exact with a new career high 12 rebounds and 5 boards on the offensive glass. Bowling Green led in points in the paint with 38-24. They led points off the bench 27-13. They led in fast break points 8-4, and they out-rebounded Toledo 41-37, Artie.
They just dominated in all areas pretty much, essentially, and it was really close the whole way through, but they really showed out here at the Savage Arena. They really played their best 40 minutes of basketball I've seen them play, and they shot pretty good from the field, too, across the half by period. Shot 30%, 9 for 30, 11 for 31. Kept Toledo pretty low shooting-wise at that 30% mark, 9 for 30.
What a win for this Bowling Green team. We talked about it being improbable. The Trey Thomas news that came down today that he had broken his leg and was out for the rest of the season with his collegiate career seemingly being over. But Bowling Green stepping up in his absence with an enormous win over their rivals. So next up for Bowling Green, they will head on the road to face Eastern Michigan in a must-win game for the Falcons. That game will be on Tuesday. It'll tip off at an interesting start time, 6:30 p.m. We will have a broadcast from there, from Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our broadcast will begin at 6:15 for pregame. Before we head off the air, any final thoughts, Artie?
I mean, just what a good game to get back in the standings for if you're Bowling Green. Oh, it's been to get a win in the Savage Arena, especially after 4 long years, is massive for this team. And it's a good way to get yourself settled back in to trying to qualify for that MAC tournament in Cleveland.
Before we head off the air, I want to send some thank yous around. First to you, Artie, for being on this call with me. It takes 2 to tango. Can't do it with one person. So I'd also like to thank Nate Henners back in Falcon Radio. First game I can remember that I've had Nate Henners as a board op. It was a delight. Did a great job back there in the Falcon Radio studio at the Coolene Center. Also like to thank Lucas Kleinmeyer, our Falcon Media Sports Director, for scheduling all this out, giving us these opportunities, and our Falcon Media Advisor, Carl Smith, for allowing us all these opportunities and keeping us all in line over at Falcon Media Sports Network and all of us at BG Falcon Media. With that said, Bowling Green winners over Toledo in the second edition of this year's Battle of I-75, 69-68. For Nate Henners, Artie Abrego, and everyone else, I'm Tyler Kamlitz saying have a great night and stay safe, everybody. This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to bgfalconmedia.com.